Good evening, everyone in Asia.
Good evening. Well, I hope we're not the only ones.
Good afternoon, everyone in UK and Europe, and of course, good morning to everyone in Americas. All right. Welcome to Spurs Version TV, episode 5. Okay, we've done 5 episodes so far. How are you feeling today, Jamie?
A bit sticky, but I had my first vaccination yesterday, so long day. Queuing with about 3,000 other people in Manila, and it took about 6-7 hours to get to the front of the queue, and then work, and then sleep, and then Sunday. So I'm a bit of a panda bear at the moment with the sleepy eyes, but yeah, all is good in the world at the moment. England 4-0. We finally got a manager, and we've got a director of football, and I'm hoping that's going to create enough of a buffer to stop Mr. Levy from getting his mitts on the team too much this season.
Okay. All right. Let me introduce you another guest who's coming in, Mr. Shane Black. Hold on. Hi, Shane.
Hi, Eugene. Hi, Jamie. How are you?
Good evening, Shane.
Fine.
Nice to see you.
And your time there is about 10 p.m., right?
Yeah, it's just after 10 p.m. here in Australia. So I'd like to welcome everybody from Australia into the stream. So,
welcome, everyone. Yep. So,
and the rest of Asia as well.
Asia, Europe, Americas. Nowadays, we broadcast now.
Is Asia the biggest continent? Because it stretches, it includes most of Russia, India, China, Australasia.
Yeah.
Or is it not Australasia is its own continent, or?
It used to be what you call the Pacific nations on the other side, but Australia somehow or another, because of the football, they joined Asia. Yeah. So I think New Zealand is going in that way too soon. I guess New Zealand will be doing that soon.
Okay, so I think we've got the biggest population.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, but the New Zealand are more into rugby than football, so.
Yeah, true. That's very true.
There's a team that plays for, like, with the Australian A-League. It's called Wellington Phoenix. So New Zealand's actually got a team in the Australian Premier Football League.
Oh, that's what happens with the Americans with their American football. They've got some, and basketball and hockey. They have Canadian teams in the American League.
Yeah.
So
just a crossover.
The hockey, you're talking my language as well. The Stanley Cup's on, and I've been loving it.
Oh, but the Stanley Cup, the Leafs are in the Stanley Cup, right? This year,
NHL.
Canadians.
Yeah, Canadians.
Montreal Canadiens.
And Tampa Bay Lightning, and I believe the Lightning's 3-0 up in the finals, so the Lightning will win it again.
I'm not paying attention to that because I've always been a Chicago Blackhawks fan, and
I'm a Blackhawks fan.
Yeah,
but for me, it's how you say ice hockey. We got field hockey. We don't have ice here, so
the ice would melt in Malaysia and Manila.
Yeah. Okay. Shane, nice to have you on for the first time. Tell us about your story. What happened, and how did it happen, and
Don't even say the T word. How did you become a Spurs fan?
Spurs fan. I'm not going to say that. I didn't say it.
It's a weird story. Back in 1980 or 1981, we were playing against Arsenal in the FA Cup, and the old man's a gooner, and he said, I'm going for the team in red, you can go for the team in white, which happened to be Tottenham. And ever since, I've been supporting Tottenham.
And your dad's been going Russian.
We have arguments all the time.
Mm.
Well,
let's call it father-son banter.
Steptoe and son banter.
Yeah. Dirty old man.
but at least now you have the upper hand. We've been above Arsenal for the past few seasons, so I guess you're holding the cards in your hands. But let's see what happens this season.
Yeah, I rub it in a bit. So we're finished above them for the past 3 or 4 seasons, maybe 5 seasons.
Five.
Seasons,
All right.
Yeah. I thought it was 4, but yeah, 5. Fair enough.
Yeah. Right.
And long may it continue. No longer will we have St. Tottenham's Day.
Please. Let me
the
see.
day that Arsenal make it impossible for us to beat them in the league. I think I'd be Steptoe and son. Yeah.
And Wayne Donner is in the house. Yeah. Hi, Wayne.
Evening,
Good afternoon.
Wayne.
Yeah, afternoon there, I think now. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's got an Aussie name, but he's in England. So.
Yeah. So, okay, as we go on now, so you've been more or less a fan for, oh my gosh, nearly 40 years.
Yeah.
40 years. Yeah.
40 years. I did have a break in there. I lived in a country town of about 600 people. Didn't have back then it wasn't internet, and didn't have cable TV, so I had a bit of a break for probably 10, 15 years, and then I come back and...
Okay, well, the pull is strong. You cannot escape.
Yeah. I come back when Harry Redknapp was managing.
That was a good time. That was a good time to come back.
Yeah.
Right. But how do you feel now after all these years?
Mixed emotions last year, so last season, I should say. But I love my Spurs till I die.
Yeah, yes, we do. We all do. That's why we are still here. And like I said,
the T-shirts. Remember the T-shirt? I think the T-shirt that Soam, if he comes on later, had. Because there's always been the slogan TTID, Tottenham till I die, but he literally had a shirt that said Tottenham till it kills me.
Either or. Right. Okay.
That was last season. Hopefully this season will just be Tottenham till I die. Eventually it'll be Tottenham as long as I live.
And Shane, how do you feel about the managerial fiasco?
Well, we didn't get our first choice, our second choice, a third choice. I think
many choices.
Then in the 75th choice, and we end up with Nuno, and I'm definitely going to give him the benefit of doubt. See after first sort of 3 or 4 matches and see what style he plays, whether he plays like he did in Valencia with a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, or he plays like Wolves and puts a 3 at the back.
Mm-hmm.
And if he does put 3 at the back, I hope Joe Rodon has a big part to play in that.
Actually, just today, there was mention of Joe Rodon being followed by another team. Let's see now on one football. It was
Again?
trying to. Yeah, no, again. I'm not sure if it's again, but
I think it
no,
was
again, as in a lot of other teams
Oh,
following a lot of other players that we have. Not Joel.
in a highly reputable rag, the Sun, the Brighton are considering a move for Joe Rodon this summer.
Brighton. Okay.
Yes.
But I mean, since Nuno's in, so we do have to give him a chance, correct? And as Wayne was saying, we'll be behind him, supporting him all the way.
And his form in the Euros gives him hopefully more tenure.
Yeah. As for Nuno's sake, we will see what kind of dealings he has going on with the players that didn't perform well last year, and of course, the most important, what kind of dealings he has with all the players that performed well last year, right? So, according to all the news out there, he's more of a coach. So let's see whether he can bring back the fitness and gel the team back as a team. Not everyone playing football for themselves.
Well, there'll be more gel to go around if Toby gets his wish and leaves, because we won't have to cover the gel costs of his hairdo.
But what do you think, Wayne? Does Nuno have a chance in doing something like that?
Shane.
Shane. Yeah, sorry,
what
Shane.
Did you just say? Did you say Brian?
He said Wayne.
Wayne.
Okay. I think you needed more sleep this afternoon, mate.
Yeah. You watched too many late night football matches here.
They complained about the training regime not being what it was under Jose. They let him, Jose sort of didn't train them. He expected them to keep up the fitness by themselves. I think that now we got Nuno, or No as I call him.
That's what Eugene called him earlier on WhatsApp. Something similar. Not deliberately.
Oh no. He'll get our fitness back up to the levels where Poch had them, I reckon. Poch had our teams could run for 120 minutes and not be tired. So hopefully Nuno will get them back to that fitness level.
Yeah, but that is going to have to involve a lot of hard work for the players that we have now, right? And more or less those players who went through Poch, and Poch is gone and they're still here, what chances do you think Nuno will have to change them? That is the question. And if they don't want to change and follow what Nuno implements, right, then there's the part of how are they going to get rid of them, right? Then we'll need the Paratici magic to come in to sell them. And selling them, as you know, all these years, Levy wants his own price. That's the sad part. Comes into it. Let's see what Wayne has to say. Wayne Bonner. Wayne Bonner says Nuno will do a good job. The problem most of last season was the lack of fitness, organization, and focus. Nuno will start that out and hopefully start Rodon regularly. Yeah, that's what we hope to. Wayne.
And also, last season, Wolves were. Well, I saw an interview where on another blog that was saying how the Wolves season was hit severely by the fact that they lost Raul Jimenez, which would be like Spurs losing Harry Kane in the middle of the season. So, like Wayne said, with a fit squad and hopefully less injuries and a better caliber of team, whatever their back buying has been over the summer, let's give Nuno a chance. Yeah. How much of a chance? We'll wait and see.
Yeah.
I still reckon look 3 or 4 games in and see how he's progressing. See what style of play.
We've got Man City the first game.
You do know our first 6 games are not the prettiest set up, right? First game is M City, then second game is Wolves, right?
That might be interesting purely and simply because it's Nuno's former club, so it will add a bit of spice to the start of the season.
Yeah.
We've got the. Sorry, you go.
You're the guest. We're just here. We're just here all the time.
I was going to say that depends on also because we've got the qualifying round for the conference league
in that week too.
Yeah, the Tin Pot Cup.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The Tin Pot Cup.
But it's still a cup, right? And we haven't had a cup in a long time.
It wouldn't be enough to keep Kane if that was all that we got. All I can say, Eugene, your little comment about Kane and if we are victorious in the Euros, I think you should raise that at some point. But I certainly don't think that the Tin Cup will be enough to keep Kane.
As for Kane, is that in their day he's a player, and of course the club is the club. And my feeling is very simple about Kane. If Levy gets the price he wants, right, he's gone. But the problem is that if Kane starts doing very well the next 2-3 games, like you see, he hasn't scored any goals in the first 2 games. Then he scores 1 in the last game. Then now he scored 2 in the last 16. Oh, sorry, he scored. Oh, he didn't score. No, he didn't score. Yeah, he didn't score any in the first 3 games. Yeah,
he scored 3 times in the last 2 games.
Yeah, he scored 3 times in the last 2 games. So if he scores another 2, right, he'll be in the running for the Golden Boot.
He didn't have a service.
Yeah, he didn't have a service.
Sterling is a ball hog. I reckon he's a lot like Eric Lamela. Holds on to the ball way too long.
Well, at least it worked for us this time. But that kind of play eventually leads to a bit of a head over, trip ups. It's good. It's good. It can be good sometimes. It can be catastrophic the other times.
Mm-hmm. But as you say, as I've been thinking, it's very simple, right? Even if he goes or he stays, at the moment, the captain of the ship on the football side, right, is Nuno, right? So whether Nuno can come in and beef up the boys to play the way that he wants to, that's yet to be seen until we first see the first few games that they perform on, or maybe some of the friendly matches that's going on pre-season. And
Arsenal and Chelsea, yeah, right.
Yeah. But I think we have some with MK Don too, yeah. We got
Leighton
Orient, yeah. So we'll see how it goes from there. But there's another part that comes into it, see whether he will promote the youth into the first team. Correct?
I reckon he will, and hopefully Paratici or Paratici, however you want to pronounce it. I think correct pronunciation is Paratici.
Paratici, yeah.
Not Paratici. But him and Nuno's got together and work it out and get the players in and get the deadwood out. Nuno needs to identify the deadwood and get them out. I'm sick of seeing Davies, Winks, and Sissoko.
Remember, the Aussies are very good at giving people nicknames.
Now there's a rumor going around that somebody who wants Davies now. There was a team that wants Davies. There's a team that wants Winks. Napoli wanted Davies. Yeah. Then Napoli wanted Sissoko, right? And there was a rumor going around. Aston Villa wants Winks, but that's the rumors, right? That goes around. Somehow or another, after this past 60, 70 days, the managerial merry-go-round and smokes and screens and all that, whatever names that you throw out there now, right? It's just a rumor. Like I say, I was speaking to Jamie earlier. Until they hold the shirt up with the name on the back and walk around and say, "Yes, I'm a Spurs player," then I think I'll believe it when that happens. Apart from all the media and all that, it still just could be another diversion again, right? For example, is
paper talk rather than real talk.
Yeah, it's the same thing like the Japanese player, Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu is 2 weeks already, 10 days, back and forth, still no confirmation, right? And all of a sudden now the name Skriniar comes out, right? Anderson. So let's see who we get.
It's the idea that we're talking about Skriniar and Pancic on loan, and we'll likely get Anderson and the Japanese guy from Bologna. So raise the expectations, cause a little bit of diversion, and then Levy will do his, I'll get the player for the price I want to pay, not the player that I want for the price they want to pay.
The foreign player cap has got me worried. We've got to get some of these foreign deadwood players out before we can bring in more foreign elite players.
Yeah, we've got to get rid of Lamela, Sissoko, Carl Vinicius. I wouldn't say he's deadwood. He never had a chance.
Vinicius has gone back to Benfica, but we've got to get rid of Dyer. I can see a first game against City, Dyer's in the middle of the back three. I don't want to see it, but that's what I reckon will happen. Clean slate, and Dyer will be in the center of a back three.
And you can see the headline now: Tottenham give a dire performance. So yeah.
But how many more days before this transfer window closes? It closes 31st August, right, or 1st September this year. So we have, I think we have more or less over a month or two before everything, closes in on us.
I thought it was 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
Or 6. Yeah, 5 or 6 weeks.
July.
11 p.m. on the 31st of August.
11 p.m. 31st of August. Today is the 4th of July. So we do have about 6-7 weeks to go. Correct.
Yeah. So can shall we give a nod to Will and his American friends? American Independence Day.
Yeah, Independence Day. Will Smith.
Mister.
No. Every time when you say Independence Day, it reminds me of Will Smith.
Oh, going to Miami.
But how you say? We have about 3 weeks, 7 weeks before all these transfer window closes. Of course, from after the Euros until the end of the window, the MCT Kane thing will be still hanging over us, right? But as I said before, as Kane performs better and better as it goes on, and there is a question out there. If Kane wins the Euro, he gets a cup, a team cup, right? Will that prolong his stay in Spurs? What do you think, guys?
He'll up his price. There is the possibility that it might actually get him looking even more to getting a transfer, because we're thinking, well, if I can do this, I'm the flavour of the month. So come and get me. So we'll see. But Harry's been loyal to Spurs for a good number of years, so it's not a foregone.
Yeah.
So 150 plus a player would be enough, I reckon. But which player from the City side would want to come to Tottenham?
Oh, Sterling has the form, but he doesn't want to. We could get Gabriel Jesus or maybe Laporte.
So it depends whether we want a homegrown. I mean, we want a homegrown British player, or we want a foreign player? That's another question again.
John Stones.
I'd love John Stones. I reckon he's a great footballer.
Yeah, but we'll City let him go. Yeah.
Well, that's what we're all talking about. If City want to rack up 150k,
150 million.
M.
150k. That'd be less than a week's pay for Harry.
150 M.
150 mil, 150 mil plus a player. That might be enough for Levy to pull the trigger.
Oh, I think this 150 mil, 75 million cash up front, Levy will throw Kane over there. Okay, let's see what Wayne has to say. Okay, Wayne, I think Kane will still want to go. He's had enough of the lack of ambition from Levy. Another season would be good, but doubtful at the minute. Yeah, that's true. Right. We all know that. I think deep down inside, Kane wants to go and Kane wants to win things. But if Levy holds on and, how would you say, not let him go, he won't go.
He holds his contract, but it means we'll be losing money and we'll be getting a player that, if we win the Euros, then of course he's going to be okay for a while, but he's eventually going to become more and more discontented.
True. But also it depends. I mean, if we start to do well in the first half of the season, right, before the January transfer comes, then we might see something. Okay, just hold on for a while. I have got another guest coming in. Right, he's from Bangalore Spurs, Soham. Hi, Soham.
Hi guys.
Introduce you. Oh my God. Okay, Jimmy, point downwards. Introduce you to Wayne. Shane. Keep saying Wayne. Come on, wake up.
Wayne is watching us.
Yeah.
And Shane is talking.
Yeah, Shane is with us from Australia. Shane, Soham is on your.
Hi, Sam.
Yeah, down there. Yeah. Okay.
We can confuse Eugene because it could be James, Shane, Soham, and Wayne, and he'll be like.
And wait for the rest of the guys to hop on.
Wayne Bonner's in the chat, so
yeah, Wayne is in chat. Great, big up to Wayne. He's a
big supporter. He supports all the Spurs channel.
Yes.
Big up, Wayne. Big up
Wayne. Yeah. Soham, just to update you, we're just talking about Nuno,
Right.
And a bit about Harry Kane and whether he's going to stay or whether he's going to go. Right, and a bit of the Euros. I mean, we're just touching here a bit and there, nothing specific. So, how's your day today?
Try to speculate.
Not bad, really. Not bad. Other than the fact that I woke up in the morning because my cat peed on my bed. Other than that fact, it's been a really good day.
World-shattering news.
Other than that, it's been a fine day.
Soham, you're sure it's not Levy, right? Did you name your cat Levy?
No, not at all. No.
Okay,
no.
Good. All right. How's the weather in
Levy out?
Yeah, no, that would work. No, if the cat was naughty.
Yeah. No, how's the weather?
The weather's fine. It's quite sunny outside. Even the temperature's at a nice range, like 28, 30. So it's pretty comfortable.
What time is it there now?
It's like 6 p.m.
6 p.m. All right. No wonder.
Sun's going to be going down soon there. It's already gone down here.
Yep.
Yeah. For the three of us, the sun is down. God. Sun is still around in the club, right? But the sun in our area is gone. Sun is gone. Don't say that. Everybody's going, which sun? Yeah.
I'm closer to the next day than you are.
Yeah.
That's right.
He's an hour and a half away from Monday.
Yeah. True.
Talk about living in the future.
You know when we get to Monday, because Shane will start singing the Boomtown Rats. Tell me why I don't like Mondays.
And Mondays I usually work, so yeah, I don't like Mondays.
But for Brisbane, Australia now has gone into lockdown, right?
Yeah, we're in well, I work in an alcohol store, so we're actually classed as an essential business.
Well, in Australia, I'm not surprised.
If we can't get our alcohol, there's hell to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go to Sydney or you go to Melbourne, it'll be the winos, and if you go to any other city, they'll be looking for their tinnies.
Yeah.
Or their stubbies, or whatever they call them these days.
Stubbies.
Yeah.
Stubbies. Yeah. Yeah, we got stubbies and what we call long necks, which are a 750 ml beer.
Oh,
the Americans would call that a 40 ounce. They're talking about they're talking about beer.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. So
yeah.
How do you feel about Nuno? You know, the last week we were talking about we got no manager. In the middle of the week we got a manager.
Thing is, I already told you I had resigned myself to Nuno, so I'm not too disappointed. It's all right. Nuno's whatever. Yeah.
He's not Mason. That's what we can say. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's better than having Mason. So yeah, that's fine.
Of course. But guys, you must always remember, right? Conte and Poch was never actually in.
It's whatever. Even if they were in, if they were not in, regardless, we didn't get anyone better than Nuno. It's fine. Nuno's fine.
So what you're saying is that Poch and Conte with the placebo, but Nuno's the real thing. He's hopefully the vaccine.
Poch and Nuno were like the bait to get all the season tickets in. And then they just left.
Poch and Conte.
Yeah, they were the bait.
Yeah.
I just want to beat Brighton 6-0.
You just want to beat Brighton 6-0? Okay.
Yeah,
why Brighton? Why Brighton?
Just to rub Harry Potter's face.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he turned us down.
Now that you say that, how did Wolves play against Brighton last season? I have no clue. Wolves versus Brighton. Okay, so one of the matches was a 3-3 draw. That must have been entertaining. And the other was a 2-1 Wolves win. So,
possible.
They did better than us.
Mm-hmm. So, I hope we absolutely spank them.
Yeah. But the Brighton match is not coming out too fast, right?
We're not a top 4 club, are we? So, and he only wants to go to a top 4 club.
But
we got Nuno, so I'm quite happy with that. So, we were talking just before about Harry Kane possibly going to City.
Right.
Would you, if they said 150 mil plus a player, which player would you consider taking from City?
Look, from City, the player that I want the most, I think everyone wants that player the most, and that is Laporte. I think everyone wants Laporte. Not even 150. If they give us 100 million plus Laporte, even that would be great. Thing is, Laporte is never going to come to Tottenham. That's the problem here. Apparently, Barcelona want him as well. So, if you have a choice between Barcelona, even at their current lowest that they are, compared to Spurs, who are also at pretty much a low phase, you're definitely going to pick Barcelona. So I don't think we are really going to get him. One player that I would not mind having from them is actually Bernardo Silva, because apparently there are talks of Silva leaving the club. And Silva under Nuno, I think we could have something there. Him playing down the right, Son playing down the left, Kane, hopefully if he stays down the middle. So that we might have something there. Other than that, Sterling I'm not too fond of in particular, because he just misses too many chances. So yeah, that's just something. That's the one issue that I have with Sterling. Other than that, who else is there? who City might be looking to sell, because it doesn't really depend on us who we want to buy. It's more about who City wants to sell off. That's the major factor here. So who else
And
is
which
there in
city?
City's team?
No, and which City player wants to come?
Exactly, that's another factor. That's
Yeah.
another factor.
Mhm. Yeah,
It's only going to be
another-
those City players who are like really desperate for game time. And there's some of them are, but thing is that most of them will get places in bigger clubs as well compared to us. So I'm not really sure how many City players we can really attract.
Well, you
So
know me, Eugene. Let's carry on.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
I was just going to make a remark that Eugene knows that I'd probably want Gabriel Jesus in so I could have a Spurs shirt with Jesus on the back. So
and you will buy that shirt, right?
yeah, and I would buy the shirt that Sohan wore, Tottenham till it kills me.
with Jesus on the back. All right. I don't think that will help. I don't think Jesus, Allah, Ram, Buddha, whichever God you see, they have all forsaken this football club by this time already. I don't know what God the Jewish people follow, but even they must have forsaken us by this time. So yeah, God,
Okay,
God,
well look, we've got a manager now. We've got a sporting director. We're not at the bottom of our pit of despair anymore.
Right.
Let's try and get a bit more of a positive spin.
All right. Okay. So if we're trying to get more of a positive spin, right? The only thing that I can say is that since both Patici and Nuno seem to be they seem to be comfortable working with each other, hopefully our recruitment is going to get better. That is really, really important. It won't be like, all right, exactly. I'm not sure about getting rid of Kitchen, because Patici has a bit of a bad habit of spending away a lot of money on players who don't really fit the club. He did that at Juventus as well. Like Aaron Ramsey for 400,000 per week. That's a bit too much. That's a bit too much. Like, he has a tendency of doing things like that. So I think it's good that there's someone like Hitchen alongside him to keep somewhat of a check on him, because I think that's necessary. But at the same time, it won't be one of those situations like, all right, we are buying a player just because Levy wants to buy that player. It won't be like that. Or we are not buying a player because everyone is like, our scouting team wants to buy a player and then Pod just cancels that at the last second. It won't be like that. If we're going after a player, it's something that both the director and the manager will agree to. So that's good to see. So I myself was I was looking a bit into like some players we could buy. I was doing some sort of like some sort of like data analysis to see what kind of style Nuno's Wolves play compared to us. I couldn't really do it because then my work pressure got really high and I twisted my ankle and tore my ligament. So that's terrible right now. So I couldn't really do much after
Just
that.
on the computer?
Twisted my ankle.
Just on the computer?
No, not just on the computer.
No, because you're saying because you're saying you're doing all this research and stuff, and then you twisted your ankle and pulled your hamstring. So I was trying to be funny, making out.
Yeah.
It was researching so hard that you injured yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, yeah. So I mean, you can say that I put more effort into my research than this first scouting team do, apparently. Anyway, so yeah. But regardless, I was looking at some players. I was Connor Cody. To me, Connor Cody always seemed like a very bang average sort of a centre back. I never really fancied him too much. But it's only once I started going through it that I realized that he's pretty unique. Like in terms of like when we think of like centre backs who can play long balls from the back, who can just like deliver long balls towards the wing, we think of someone like Alderweireld, because Alderweireld, like Toby, has been doing this for years now. Like he just delivers those long balls from centre back to either Son or the right wing or whoever it is. And someone like Toby, for all his quality, his long ball success percentage is only just 44%. So he's accurate with even less than 40% of the long balls that he sends forward. And that's not just him, that's most centre backs in PL. Connor Cody has a long ball success percentage of 66%. And that's when I realized, all right, that is pretty good. So now I'm starting to see why someone like Gareth Southgate would want to have him, like an emergency option who can just, if they're trailing a game, they don't have a lot of time, they'll send him on as like an emergency sort of a centre back, and he can just ping long balls forward, and they will be accurate. They will find their target. So someone like that. I think that's pretty unique. I was looking at most centre backs from PL. I think he has the highest long ball accuracy percentage. So I think we are going to look for at least one centre back who can play balls out, really long balls out from the back, especially apparently since there are reports that Toby is going to leave as well. Apparently he wants to leave the club. I mean, if Toby leaves. He's not the Toby of the past. I think the best example of that was, I think, the Italy game the night before last. where he didn't even close down the Insigne when he had the shot. It was Insigne, right, who had the shot? Yeah. He didn't even close down Insigne when he had the shot. I think that's just like the best indicator of what Toby is right now. He has great positional sense. He's excellent in one-on-one duels. He doesn't have the pace. He doesn't have the urgency anymore. So I think, yeah, if he wants to leave, he can leave. I won't.
Okay.
I won't
Just
stand
hold on, Sean. Just hold on. Let me bring in one more guest. Right, just hold on. We'll continue with the Cody and Toby talk. Hello, Swayam. Can you hear us?
Hello, Eugene.
Hi.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, that's good. Like just to introduce yourself, Swayam. As you know, we have Jamie, Shane, and Soham here. Why don't you just tell us, introduce yourself, and how do you get involved with the club? Okay,
That'd be hard. He just popped off again.
No, I think he's got some problems with his device connection.
Yeah, probably.
So let's settle that part. Yeah, right. He's out.
I don't know. Well, the weather's nice where Siam is, but I mean, I could understand it where we are, because in Malaysia and Philippines we've got tropical depressions. So
I think it's the same. I think it's the same thing where Swam is. He's in Kolkata. Kolkata is having a lot of storms right now. I think it's probably the same thing there.
Yeah. Oh, he's in Kolkata. Yeah.
He's in Kolkata.
Yeah. So, let's see whether he can come back on or not.
Yeah.
And there's a few more.
So apparently, like in terms of targets, we have been linked with this Japanese player, Tomiyasu. Has anyone ever watched him play? I have never seen the guy play. I have no idea.
No, but Bologna have just refused a 15 million plus improved offer that we made. We started offering 13, now we've offered 15, and Bologna are holding out for more money. But as to how good a player is, he looks great in a still shot, but how he is in actual play.
Okay, just hold on. Hold on, Jamie. Let me bring back Swayam. All right. Hi, Swayam.
Hello, Eugene. Hello, Jamie.
Hey!
Hello, Shyam. Hello, Soham.
Hi.
Got you on the last. Yeah. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
That's
How
good.
are you doing?
We're all just doing okay. We've got a manager at last, and we're just talking about it and see how it goes on. Just introduce yourself a bit and tell us how you got to fall in love with Tottenham Hotspur. If you're a Spurs fan, right?
Yeah, I am, obviously. So I am Swayam. I am 19 years of age, and I am from Kolkata, India. I have been a part of Kolkata Spurs for the last 3 years now, and I've been following Tottenham Hotspur since 2014. So that's been my journey now.
Oh,
Okay.
2014. Yeah, it's a
Prime
young Spurs
hero.
fan.
Yeah, I am.
And I'm sure because of Poch, that's why you're here.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I fell in love with the football Tottenham played, and I'm here now, a Tottenham Hotspur fan.
And okay, as we were talking about before, we were talking about, of course, we have Nuno, right? And of course, there's the issue with Harry Kane and the transfer policies that we are talking about, and a bit of the Euros. So on your part about Nuno, how do you feel?
When the manager transfer saga started, I don't think we actually looked upon Nuno at that point of time. But after this many days, like it has been the longest streak without a manager for any club, and now we got Nuno. So I think we should see. He has a 2-year deal, if I'm not wrong. So let's see how does it turn out, and I think we'll play some good football, and we are hoping for the best.
Yeah. So that means you do support it.
Yeah.
You do. Yeah. You are willing to give him a chance, and because
obviously.
Because there's a big feeling out there that a lot of the fan base out there are very, very unhappy with this choice of manager. But somehow or another, we still have to give him a chance, correct? No matter who comes in. And of course, a lot of people saying it's still better than Ryan Mason. Okay. So, and what do you think about Harry Kane then? Will he be staying or will he be going?
To be honest, it's a very difficult question right now to answer. But Harry Kane has always been one of the best, probably if not the best striker in the world, and he's showing it in the Euros now. When people doubted him, he's scoring goals and goals. So I don't think that City will match up his transfer market value, which Levy will ask for, like that 150 million. Maybe I don't think they can actually match that value. Maybe next season they can look forward to buying Kane, but not this season.
Mhm. Not this season. All right. Just hold on. I got one more guest to bring in. Hello, Saika. Can you hear us?
Hello.
Saika?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you
No,
hear
you're,
us?
Yeah,
you're,
yeah.
you're on StreamYard, not Audible.
Welcome to Spurs Vision TV, Saika.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah.
Yeah. As we were talking to Swayam just now, just introduce yourself and just tell us your story, how you got to fall in love with our lovely club.
Yeah, so actually it was around 2010. So when it got started, and yeah, like basically the football fan, because I belong from Bengal, right, of India. So we know how fans are crazy here for football. So yeah, so that's where it got started. So then I was really got confused like which team to follow in EPL, but EPL was the league that really excited me because of the style of play and the atmosphere, and the brand of or the style of football the team plays there. So yeah, so that's how EPL got attracted. So I was a bit confused of which team to follow, or which team should touch my heart. So that's the most important thing, or the word that I should say, because once you choose a team, it's there for the whole life. Yeah, that's how things works. So yeah, so then I was just I really liked how Modric played, and Van der Vaart also joined us. I think around that time. So yeah, that's where, and I think I followed them, and that hat trick against Inter Milan that Bale did, right? So that's where I think most of the fans from India also belonged at that point of time, or joined Tottenham at that point of time. So yeah, that's how it began for me. That Bale
Okay.
hat trick, and we had not a very team with a lot of superstars, but yeah, there was a potential I can see, right? Bale was very young, Modric was very young, so yeah, there was a bit of potential. So yeah, it got I got excited how we started playing and attacking under this Harry Redknapp at that point of time, right? So yeah,
Mhm.
that's my
All right.
story, how I started following.
That's a nice story. All right. Just hold on for a while, Saika. I need to bring in one more guest. And
Sure.
hello, Sanska. Can you hear us?
Hi guys, am I audible?
Yeah, Sanska. Nice to see you.
Hi,
Yeah.
Science.
Okay, nice to meet all of you.
Just to introduce you, Saika is on one cube. I get mixed up with all the pointing. Jamie is next to me on this side, and Shane is on
It's
the other
best if you
side.
just verbally describe. You just say
Okay.
Jamie's to my. Okay, see,
Yeah, go and describe it. Never mind. Sanska, you can see us. There's Jamie, Shane, Soham, and Saika. And we just lost Swayam. I don't know where Swayam went to, but it's okay. Nice to meet you, Sanska. Just introduce yourself and just tell us how you fell in love with the Tottenham Hotspur Club.
Okay, so I'm 19 and I'm actually a comparatively recent fan of Spurs, but not to say I haven't been watching them. Like, I actually used to stay in Southampton for a while. So I watched one of the Spurs. That was the only Spurs game I watched because now I'm in India. So it was the 12-13 season and it was at Southampton's home. So Spurs won 2-1 and Bale and Dempsey scored. And I still remember because that season Bale won the PFA. He was setting everything on fire. His goal, just running down the wing and scoring. It was absolute devastation. And I mean, just seeing him play was just a fabulous experience. And then, like, I always liked Spurs, but I never really supported them. But then, after I watched the UCL final, the one, especially the Mora come back to semi final, That was just,
Semi-final,
I was
yeah.
like, I used to watch the Premier League, but I never really supported anyone. But after that semi-final, I was like, I have to support this
Yeah.
club.
So you
Since
got
then, I've been
baited
supporting.
then. I'm not gonna say that word, okay, Jamie. He got baited. All right.
No,
Yeah.
it seems as if most of the younger guys, it was a certain match or a certain moment, whereas
Right.
with us older guys, it's more. Well, actually, I'm not sure. More of a progressive thing. In my case, birthright, but doesn't make me special. And compared to like Soam and some of the other guys, it certainly doesn't make me any more knowledgeable. So.
Yeah. Oh, we've got Saikat on cam now. Hi, Saikat.
Hey,
Hey.
we can
All right.
see you.
Okay, because we've been going on to this discussion for a while now. In the stages, we were talking about Nuno, right? Harry Kane, and of course the transfers. Okay, let's go to Saikat first. Saikat, what do you think about Nuno?
You're on mute. Saikat, you're on mute.
We can
It's
hear
good
you.
now. Am I
and
audible?
we can hear Eugene. Yes, you're
Yeah, you can
audible.
hear you.
Now we can
Yeah,
hear
am I
you.
audible?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like to start with Nuno, like as everyone knows, right? All the Spurs fans from Pochettino to Conte and how things with this whole massacre that went and the merry-go-round that was going on. So yeah, it's very underwhelming. But if you just take a deep breath and you understand the situation with the managerial appointment, that why Paratici and Levy got this. So I can find like what Paratici is telling to us, right, in an interview, that about the adaptiveness of the Nuno, right? How he adapts based on the current players that he has to work with, and also in terms of the team and academy and everything, because of the players like Pedro Neto and like all the Wolves players that is related, and we are very young, right? So I think that's a good managerial decision for me. I'm very excited how to see like how Nuno works under these circumstances, because surely like we have a brilliant team apart from Wolves, like the team that he inherited on like on Wolves side. We have a very good team from that perspective. And I think if Harry Kane stays and we get a couple of signings at the back like this Takedo Tamiyasu and maybe Joachim Anderson, then I think we are good to go. And I'm really excited about this Nuno appointment. Yeah. But yeah, at the same time, it's underwhelming. Yeah. Considering the situation. Yeah.
Well,
underwhelming, but at least it's some kind of foundation. The consensus
Like
seems.
as people says, right, that it can get much worse, like with the Graham Potters and
Exactly.
with the stuff.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah,
then
I
they
think
say
it's better.
but then they say if you hit rock bottom, the only way is up. So
yeah.
okay.
So okay, Sanska, what do you think about Nuno?
So like I understand why everyone's a bit underwhelmed by Nuno, but then at the same time, like I know like I think the main reason for it being so underwhelming is because of maybe how potentially close we became to being linked with Pochettino and then obviously Antonio Conte. But then again, I was always skeptic that we'd get like after the season we've had and we're going to be playing the Conference League next season. I was not that hopeful of our pulling power. I mean, yes, we are a grand club, but still, like right now, we are in a transition period. And then whichever manager comes in right now, they have a lot of work. They have to
Right.
restructure the club and fix the squad. So with Nuno, I think one thing which people don't mention enough is how important Premier League experience is. Premier League isn't just like any other league out there. And him being a Premier League manager for so long, just he knows all the other clubs. He knows our opponents throughout, and that's why I feel like what he brings to the table is being really underrated right now. And I believe that though it might not be the best signing, it's actually a pretty good signing than what people make it out to be. And as far as transfers are concerned, like I'm seeing that like the club is pushing for restructuring. It's not like they want to keep the dead weight. They're trying to sell off. They're trying to sell Lamella. They're trying to sell Wings. And I think it's a good move that right now we're in a transition period. And like these crop of players, they did what they could. They took us to the UCL final. And like I don't think like now the only way forward is trying to change and bring in a new batch and then work again.
Right.
That's good. What about you, Soyam? How do you feel about Nuno? Can you hear me, Swayam?
Yeah, as I already said, yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yep. Good.
Yeah. Yeah, so as I already said that I think it is an underwhelming signing, but as they said that maybe we could have hit the rock bottom, but it's better than that, and he has a good managerial experience in the Premier League. So I think it will turn out good for us if we can notch up a couple of good signings, especially for the defense now. And if Harry Kane stays, I think we can look forward for Champions League football next season.
Hmm. That's a good one. And what do you guys think about Harry Kane's scenario now? Will he stay? Will he go? Will we get the right price for him?
Any one of you?
Any one of you? Yeah. Go ahead.
I personally feel like if he doesn't go this season, and if by chance he has an underwhelming season this time around, although he's Kane, everyone has a bad season. Like right now, the prices which we might get offered, we might not get offered that price. As much as I love Kane and I want to keep him, we're always running that risk that if he pushes for a transfer next season, and then if perhaps City or someone is not willing to offer 100 million like they are this season, I don't know. I think we might face the troubles right now. I love Kane, and like he is an asset, but like the main thing is just keeping Kane alone isn't going to help us. Can't just carry the team. He can't just carry the defense, and we need restructuring at the back. And I feel like although it might be a harsh decision, like we need funds, and like if we get the best possible price for him right now, and also if City are willing to offer any players, then I think we might consider it.
But is Levy going to invest that money back into the players? That's a question.
Yeah,
It's
that's
always
the
been
question.
That's
It's always the question.
We're trying to get away from what has been termed the echo chamber of London, because over the last few weeks it's all been about whatever money we get for Kane. Is Levy going to invest it in the team, or is he just going to continue to line his pockets and bolster up his business? Wanting us to be in the papers, wanting us to be in the limelight, but not that fussed about the success of the team as long as the business profit is consistent.
Okay, so one thing here that I'll say is that when you think about Levy not investing in the last 3-4 years or whatever, not really 4 years, I think 3 years. It's been from the 18 summer that we've not been investing.
Not investing well.
Not investing well. Yeah. The thing is, we haven't really sold any players worth that amount of money either. Our last big sale was Bale, and when we sold Bale, we actually invested that money. Now, did we invest it well enough? Absolutely not. We completely fucked up that entire deal. We fucked it up. The thing is, we will probably invest. If we get 100 million, we'll probably invest 80 out of that, 85 out of that. And you can build a good team out of 80, 85, provided your scouting and your recruitment is good enough. That is the problem with Spurs. Our scouting and our recruitment is not always good enough. And hopefully, with all the contacts that Paratici has, and the fact that, as I said before, like Paratici and Nuno are apparently willing to work on a similar kind of idea, similar kind of strategy, similar kind of team building, hopefully we will get the right kind of players. But again, the key word here is again hopefully, because with Levy you can never be sure.
If Paratici wasn't here, I would be really skeptic. But I think Paratici is giving us an extra bit of hope, because if it was all up to Levy, I don't know, I would not at all have any hope. But because of Paratici coming here, and because of supposedly Paratici having this influence, and I feel like that's why him fighting with Levy and winning this battle to appoint Nuno is actually a good sign. It shows that he has some power in the boardroom, and I think that's giving a bit of a glimpse of a bright future for us.
But because of the last 2 years, since the UCL final, when Poch was saying I've completed what I can do with this team. The past 2 years, we've gone from being an upward rising, and we've just sunk back down into mid-table mediocrity. So we've got less pulling power. Is Paratici going to be enough to make us attractive in the transfer market?
But we do have our super agent behind Nuno. Yeah. Don't forget Jorge Mendes.
Yeah, speaking of Jorge Mendes, you know which client of Jorge Mendes I really like at Spurs? And that's Renato Sanchez. Because I was looking at the way that Wolves play. They always have one midfielder who can play sort of defensively, but is also good at carrying the ball forward, with just by keeping the ball at his feet. Someone like what should I say? Someone like a lot similar like what Dembele used to do for us. Like he would just dribble through the press. It doesn't matter 3 players pressing, 4 players pressing. He'll just somehow get through that press. While I don't think Sanchez is at that extent yet, but I think Sanchez would be a really good fit for Nuno's style. However, realistically speaking, will we ever get Sanchez? I don't think so. When we have Ndombele and when we have Lo Celso at the club, I don't think we are getting Sanchez.
Well, we took long enough to get a manager, but we've still got a nice number of weeks to get our finger out and start dipping into the transfer market. Sorry, Shane.
I was just going to say, I think after 2 or 3 weeks of training, I think that then Ndombele is going to be knocking on the door going, one out, because he won't be able to take it because of his lack of fitness and him being overweight. That's why he gets a nickname on a few other channels, Ndom Burgers.
Yeah. But the thing is, the talent that we have, right?
I was just going to say, Skip's coming back, and I think Skip will fit into that role really well, that number 8 role. He'll be a box-to-box midfielder, and he'll do it really well.
Yeah, but the problem with Skip at the moment, he's got quite a bad injury. He should be out until somewhere a couple of months down the road before he appears for us.
Skip is, I was looking at the way Skip played for Norwich, and if you look at his heat map, I don't think I can show it here. If you look at his heat map, and I was comparing that to like heat map or like the general like style of play of different centre midfielders as well. I initially I used to think that Skip is like basically Harry Winks 2.0. That was my initial impression of Oliver Skip. But then I actually looked at his his heat map. He's a lot more like Højbjerg than he's like Winks, to be honest. He has the exact number of tackles per 90 as Højbjerg. He has the exact number of interceptions as him. And if you look at his heat map, it's like the mirror image of Højbjerg. While Højbjerg's map is more shifted towards the right because he had to cover a lot for Aurier because Aurier used to go forward and never come back. So Højbjerg had to cover a lot towards the right. Skip's map is exactly the same but towards the left. I don't know who their left back was, but whoever it was, they used to attack a lot and Skip had to cover him a lot. So I think he's a lot more similar to Højbjerg than he is to someone like a Lo Celso or a Harry Winks or Sissoko or Ndombele.
Speaking of Højbjerg, he's had a great Euro so far, and I really hope that he can carry on this form for us Spurs because he's turning out to be a real asset for Denmark.
Yeah, but Højbjerg plays more forward.
Exactly.
With Denmark, you see. Yeah, but when he's playing with Spurs, he was being pulled back because he's played under the Jose way. Jose pulls him back. So let's say now Jose is gone, right? It's all up to Nuno to figure out how to use the players we have. We do have talented players, okay? Somehow along the way they got lost, right? Some in their fame and their focus is all gone. Because as you see in the interviews that Nuno has been giving, he and of course Paratici has been giving, right? They know where our weakness is, which is actually they should know because the whole of social media and the fan base is pointing out to them where our weakness is. Fitness, focus, right? And discipline. Defense. Right? These 3 main things first: fitness, focus, and discipline. If you don't have those principles in the players are gone. You see, and of course, just to read out Wayne Bonner's message, I'd like to see a young right back, Lavinia, get his chance in the first team next season.
Eugene?
And yeah. So, sorry. Yes, Shane.
Yeah, no, I saw the super chat come up, so I stopped. What I was going to say is that Lavinia is a brilliant young right back, but he's more of a defensive right back instead of a wing back. That Doherty will probably thrive under Nuno because he's that wing back. He's got more cover and more defense behind him, so he can get further up the pitch.
Yeah. True, true. And of
And
course,
also,
from Wayne Bonner says here, I love to see Skip get a chance as well, and interested to see what they will do with Sessignon. Sessignon is on the left, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sessegnon might. I personally feel that Sessegnon might just go out for loan again. Considering we have Davies and Reguilon, I don't know. I feel like they might just decide to send him out on loan for another season. But if we do choose 3-4-3, I don't know if that's such a wise idea because he could be a good bench player.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
but I personally
Yeah,
feel that they might just consider sending him out for another season on loan. Even though I personally would not want that. We need all the players we can get.
what I
oh,
Yeah.
think here is I think Nuno can play if he plays a back three. He can play Davis at a left centre back position, and we can have two left wing backs. That is Reguilon and Sessegnon. We can play both of them, right? Maybe we can play both of them and Davis in the back three if we don't get a good decent centre back this season. So yeah,
I
Mm.
hate Davis. Like, really, in any formation. You look at
Uh,
his stats, and his stats are just so
Horrible.
low across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he makes so many mistakes.
he plays there for Wales, but I don't rate him at all. He just gets spun every time. You know,
True.
Mr. Anonymous. You know, you
Yeah. It's never
Just can't,
given a convincing.
can't rely on them. No, but that's why I say the basic principles must be there first. Nuno needs to find out all the players that we have who has the basic principles, the focus, the discipline, and the commitment. All right. If he can pick them out and reprogram them, then they might have a chance. That's okay. Just read out what Wayne Bonner said. We need strong leadership on the pitch as well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a
oh,
definite thing
keep,
that we need.
I
keep,
think
keep Kane and keep
like
Hoiberg.
Hold,
I
yes.
think like whatever the like for me the foremost task that Nuno has in his hands is to identify who wants to play for Spurs. That is the most important thing. Sissoko, Lamela, these players, what they have is Lamela for me, whenever people are doubting him, which is most of the times, he comes, he gives everything, and he plays for him, not for the team. For me, like not consistent enough. Lucas Moura, 100% dedication when he comes, not much end product. So go, we don't need you here. That's the thing. Like, yeah, like we can say that he is a legend for us because about that hat trick, but it can't go for more than 2-3 seasons you don't perform, right? Similarly for
True.
Dele Alli, you can't just be without dedication and all this, that yeah, I am trying to prove, I am trying to win over the new managers and stuff. No, you need to perform on the field. Then we can understand, okay, you are that player which we which we thought that yeah, you are going to be, right? So I think there are many detours that needs to be done. Everybody here knows whom I am talking about, like Audier and yeah, Davis. At Davis is very much taking down the order for me. I think somehow in terms of Davis, he is usable because we got UEFA Conference League and stuff. So yeah, he can do that job for us. But yeah, provided we got the correct amount of price for him, maybe 25 million or 20 millions, then I think we can really cash in. And in terms of
Davis.
Harry Wings, yeah, because
don't get me started.
I saw a report that Napoli is really interested in him, and they are pushing for that deal. So yeah, I don't
20
know that.
million for
Yeah,
Davis.
20 millions for Davis. Yeah, that's how
They're
things
not
are.
going to
But
give
yeah,
more than 10.
yeah. So
10?
yeah, like if
5?
no
I'll
no,
fly him
it,
over and drive him there.
the thing is
Okay, you hit the red button.
the Syria is not like EPL, right? They don't have those
Uh,
that much fast wingers. It's a slow paced league. So I think Davies can perform well there. I think so. I'm not sure. But yeah. So that's how things are. Like, but that's just the rumor. So in terms of that, I think anybody, or like first of all, he needs to understand who wants to play and what he needs to do with Japhet Tanganga and Skip Sessignon. What are their prospects for the upcoming season? Are they want to play, or they need to be loaned? That needs to be get into the things, and then we can proceed further. So as the things stand, I think Tomiyasu will be our first signing. But yeah, that's a very good prospect to a signing Tomiyasu. If you go and see his videos, yeah, people might say that he is a YouTube player, but yeah, he is really got the prospect because Atlanta is looking for him, and
Exactly.
if Atlanta looks for him, then Atlanta doesn't make those false buys and go for those names. They really scout and go for them. So I think Tomiyasu will be a good choice because of his ball control and driving forward from that right center back or maybe from the right wing back. He's very versatile throughout that back five or throughout that back four. So I think that would be a good signing, and as things stands, it will be it will be our first signing, I guess.
And he seems reliable. Like after whatever I've seen, I find I think being error prone is a big challenge for defense. Like
And
each
also
and
with
every
the
defender
Asians,
is
you get that work ethic, that dedication, 100%. That what we get from Sun, right? And so I think that also will be a factor, yeah. And yeah,
Yeah,
Levy like to
just hope that he
encash
doesn't end
that.
up being the next Hirotoshi Nagata and just goes off to being a fashion designer halfway through his career.
Yeah,
Nakata.
with the
Why you
transfers
say
we are
Nakata?
with the transfers we really don't know what people are gonna end up to because Son was flop for 2 seasons. Then he is
Not
one of
really
our
true.
best
I think the
players now.
first season. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
maybe yeah. So that's
yeah.
how. So I think somewhat it may take time, but yeah, I think that as things looking, it's a very good prospect for me, according to
the
me, I
more
guess.
the
I
most
think it's going
alarming
to
piece
take.
of news I've heard in the last week is that Alderweireld wants out. Like that's the most
Yeah, I've
obvious.
heard that.
If Alderweireld is one of the few defenders who I have actually seen in the back line and still considered reliable, especially because he offers his lovely long balls. Like, and if especially if we shift to a 3-4-3, then Alderweireld leaving would be a massive blow to us. Because like I don't know,
Uh,
like yeah, sure.
yeah.
I think Shane was
Shane.
saying something.
Yeah, Shane.
Yeah, well, I was just going to echo. We're going to miss those long balls from Alderweireld if he goes. I think Joe, however you pronounce it, Anderson is going to be our first signing. He's all lined up. He's ready to go. Give him a contract. Get him through the door. Get him training.
But that's understand. We all understand what Levy does. Before any signing, he will have to go in and haggle first, right?
Yeah.
Right. So whatever happens, if it's like 25 million, then he will offer 13 plus 2 bags of chips
And
and
like
bottle of
with
Coke,
Olympic,
right? Right.
and with
Right.
that Olympic
Yeah.
Lyon,
I'm gonna
that
go and
person,
pick an
right?
onion.
Who is that their chief
All
director?
us,
He
all
is not an
us,
easy
all
person. He is
us.
like Levy only.
Yeah. This
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Levy.
that
He's basically a
person.
French Levy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
French
that's why I
Levy.
said if we are looking at the Italian Liga, right, Paratici is the best candidate because he knows that league inside out. He knows who are the best players to get in and whether it will fit into Nuno's plan. Correct. But now stage one, if what I'm feeling is that what all of us feels is the same thing is that Nuno has to feel out who he can use, who he can't use. Part one. Part two, the players that he wants to get out right has to get the right price that Levy wants. That's where the stumbling block comes. What do you think, guys?
Exactly.
Let's go with
Exactly.
Shane first.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Simple. Agreed.
Agreed.
Levy's the last hurdle.
Yeah.
I just agree with everything you just said.
Yeah. And what do you think, Soham?
Exactly. Because I think with Levy, I think he doesn't realize the fact that if his assets are not performing well, their price will depreciate in the market. I think he just fails to completely accept this fact. He bought Sissoko for 30 million. If he expects to get 30 million for Sissoko in this market, he is completely out of his mind. If I get 3 million and as you said,
You've
2
answered
packets
your
of chips, I'm going to sell Sissoko right now.
You've answered your own question. What did you say Levy was?
And
Out of his mind.
And
That
what do you
explains
think?
it. That explains it.
Saika,
And
what do you think?
It's
Yeah.
Sissoko.
So for me, I think Like on previous occasions, it was very troublesome to get offload of these players, but because of the connections Paratici have with his super agent George Mendes. So I think George Mendes not only about his clients, right? He has contacts with many more clubs like Atletico Madrid, Monaco. So I think many loan options or loan option to buy will be there. So I think it will be a easier task this time to load around because Paratici has to prove, right? And there is very much less time to get into these players, like to get in some players. So for that, we need to offload also. So I think things will just start kicking off one Paratici, or sorry, once Nuno starts with the preseason. So and he assesses those players initially, right? So I think it will be easier, and we can see much more activities this time around. And one thing is like. And also I am very interested about like learning that Nuno was George Montes' first client, so there is also a special relationship. But as things stand, it will not be Wolves, like all the George Mendes players will not be coming. In Wolves, it was because the owner has 30% or 40% of the ownership of that Gestifew agency that Dortmund owns, right? So it will not be that thing that will be happening in Spurs. So I think, yeah, I'm excited. Let's see what happens. There are several people involved that have much more contacts than others, and previously we had. So yeah, I'm excited. Previously it was Steve Hitchen, but I think I don't trust him. This Steve Hitchen. I think so. Yeah, Paul Mitchell was very good, but Steve Hitchen I don't trust, and we can clearly see in the the intakings or the outcomings that was done, it was very bad, and yeah. So I think it will be exciting times ahead. I hope for at least.
And Jamie, what you were saying?
I think it'll be a bit like the Manda Church. It's going to be lots of tasty names thrown around, um, but then who we actually get is going to be a little bit underwhelming. So I want us to be going into this transfer market not with blown out expectations, but just anticipation of what we can get considering the circumstances and make the best of what the situation is.
And Sanskar, what do you say?
Well, number one, like just like 2 3 months ago, I was really happy because I saw that we were interested in Savitzer, but I feel like that just suddenly vanished, and like he
Exactly.
wasn't going to be that much of a pricey transfer because he was in his final. I think he's now just 1 year left on his contract, and rumors say that Leipzig were ready to leave him for as little as 17 million. And
Yeah.
for 17 million for a player like Sabitzer, and especially you can just see for Euros yourself how he's performing.
And also, I
That's
think
a bargain.
similar fees also there for Denzel Dumfries, a release clause of something of
Yeah,
around 15 million
exactly.
euros. Yeah.
Like
Okay.
we should be capitalizing on these opportunities, and especially like I just saw like rumors are floating around that Aston Villa are willing to pay 20-25 million for wings. You should just close your eyes, sign the accept of if by chance they're actually offering that much. Don't even think twice. Go to Villa yourself and say, please take him. You're welcome. Take him. Done. Deal done. Like you
Yeah,
have to
so-
be quick and you have to capitalize on these opportunities.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Sell him,
yeah.
sell him, sell him.
What
And
about
Swayam,
What about Dele Alli? Because Dele Alli is
what do you think, Swayam?
I think like everything currently is wrong with Tottenham of the football club. Like a few years ago in the 2018-19 season when we had zero transfers throughout the season, we were in Champions League position, and there were players who are willing to play for Spurs because they are in the Champions League. Now we are in the Conference League. There are big names who can come to Spurs, but they would say that no, I don't want to play in the Conference League, but I'll instead go to a club who will play in the Champions League. So it's easily it was easy to attract for us, like to attract big players. But now it has always been underwhelming signing since then, since the Champions League final. The only exception will be Tenga and Dombele, but then we always settle for the second options. But if Levy thinks he needs to get this club right where it was few years back, then he has to make some transfers. He have to give Paratici the money and tell, okay, go to the transfer market, get the players Nuno wants, and pick them in the team. Because that's the only way we can this club can succeed. Just look at Chelsea. They were performing very bad. Even after so many big transfers, they sacked Lampard, even if it was a club legend, and they appointed Tuchel. Now they won the Champions League. That's how you run a club. That's how you run a football club. You cannot run a football club with emotions. And I don't know what Levy thinks. He just doesn't spend the money, and that's the condition of the club.
Not even emotions. With Levy, it's like I don't even know. I don't even know.
Okay, so that means more or less we have consensus here, right? We are all more or less not Levy supporters. Anybody supports Levy here? Put up your hand. No. All right. Good one.
No.
I don't have a cat. All right. I don't have a cat. Daddy Ali, touch your cat.
Yeah, man. Son, what would your cat do?
Oh yeah, my cat. Yeah, I don't know.
The first thing you shared is what your cat would probably do to Levy's bed.
Should send your cat to Levy then.
Yeah. I should.
Okay, just read this out from Wayne Bonner. I'll sell Ali. He's slow. It's the game too much. Cash in, upgrade. If Levy can swallow his pride, that's it. Okay, let's go. Let's go to this question now. The biggest question that we more or less have for the past few years is that we brought in a talent for very cheap, £5 million from MK Dons, right? He was playing MK Dons. He performed well for about 2 seasons from us. Then after that, he totally disappeared. And his name is Dele Alli. Do you think he'll get a chance from Nuno? Let's start with Jamie.
Well, he wants to prove himself to Nuno, but there's been other talk that was it Dean Windass is trying to encourage him to just go to Villa. So rather than Winks go to Villa, the Ali goes to Villa. I would like to see him prove himself, but he's no longer automatic first choice. He's going to have to show some renewed form if he's going to stay with Spurs.
What do you think, Wayne? Shane? Keep calling you Wayne. Come on, Shane.
Because of Wayne Bonner.
Yeah. Can you hear me, Wayne? Shane?
Yeah, Dele
go ahead, Shane.
Old Dele Marley himself, wants to prove himself to Nuno. I think get him out. And one name I want to throw around is Daichi Kamada, plays for Eintracht Frankfurt. He is an absolute baller. If we could get him in place of Dele Alli, I think we got a superstar in the making.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but that's more or less a creative midfielder.
That's a Cam, yeah.
Yeah, that's
number
Cam,
10. Number
and
10.
we've been missing that since Ericsson left, right? Yeah.
If we need a dead ball specialist, somebody like a James Ward-Prowse, a Daichi Kamada, somebody who can take a dead ball free kick
and put it behind the net.
Harry Kane shouldn't be taken out.
Exactly.
Please. Don't go there. Don't go there about Harry Kane and his free kicks. Okay, let's go back to Dele Alli. Sanska, what do you think? Do we keep him? Does Nuno give him a chance? Right? Or does he need to bulk up?
The thing about Dele Alli is like the first couple of seasons, he seemed interested. He wanted to improve. But now he just doesn't seem interested in football anymore. I don't see he doesn't have any interest in when PSG came knocking in the door, sure, anyone would be interested. Oh, I'm getting a chance at PSG. But apart from that, I don't see that. It doesn't look like he's interested. It doesn't look like he wants to give the effort. And for a player like him at his age, at this point of time, we can't be just trying to get individuals to perform just because they performed once. And we have to be a bit ruthless. And if he's gonna go on loan, send him on loan, and if we get a good price with him, sell him, because we can't just be relying on him to catch up on form again. Yes, he's definitely talented, but then again, he just doesn't seem interested. The passion he once had it doesn't seem there. He isn't interested. Even this season, he was injured. Like he started the first match. I was actually impressed with his performance. I thought like it was promising. He got injured. Then after that, he just didn't seem interested anymore. Even when he was getting back to fitness, he didn't seem interested in playing. Exactly like Wayne said, he slows down the game because he doesn't have that passion or aggression which he once had. So I think we should sell him. Honestly, I don't think it's worthwhile keeping him around any longer. If some clubs want him, if they're offering a fair price for him, we should just sell him, offload him.
Okay.
And what do you think is a fair price?
Fair price for Ali right now, honestly, like 20 million, because like he's still Dele Ali. He has performed, and like I don't think any Villa or someone will be offering, but like PSG with their money, they might still be willing to shell out that much for Ali. I mean, come on, they just gave 70 million for Hakimi. So I mean, 20 mil for Dele Ali. I wouldn't be surprised for that. I wouldn't be surprised if they won. He's still very young.
You suggest 20 million for Dele Alli to Daniel Levy. He'll probably have a stroke at that spot. He probably has. He probably has 60 million penciled in for Dele Alli. And then when he sees the first bid for 20 million, he'll probably have a stroke at that point.
True.
Yeah. Okay, Sanskar, what do you think? Sorry, Saika, what do you think?
So I think that if Nuno plays with 3-4-1-2 with the two strikers, Son and Kane and Daly just behind him lurking around, then I think I can see the best of Dele Alli coming back. But I am being very optimistic. But the most important thing is what Nuno wants to play, on which form or in which formation. So with 3-4-1-2, I can see working for Dele. But in terms of Dele, I think he just understood that Levy is not going to sell him. Okay, so he is just being calm because he knows that no one is going to give him that much of money, and Levy will tell that okay, just stay here and run out the contract, or maybe if 1 year of contract left, then maybe some another issue. So I think that's the main problem with Dele. But with as you can see that we have a World Cup next year around, right? So I think this is the last season. I think I will be giving Dele based on how the circumstances and situation goes. But I think this is the last season. So after this season, I will just completely tell him to just sell. I will.
You will give him a chance then if Nuno gives him a chance.
Yeah, as I told, based on the formation. So I think it's behind. If it's 3-4-1-2, then I think it will be working great because that's how Dele works. Just a shadow striker role. But yeah, if Nuno, I think when Nuno was appointed, right, in the conversation itself, I think Daniel Levy already told Nuno that you got this Dele Alli, so you have to make it perform somehow because I want to get this price for him and I want to sell him. Okay, because that's what Daniel Levy told Mourinho also. So I think, we can see the best of Dele Alli this time around. If not, then I will lose hope completely on Dele Alli.
Okay, Soham, what do you think?
Sell now.
Right
now. I have had enough of Dele Alli for the last 2 years. I'm sorry. Every Dele Alli is it's so frustrating because you see him play and you see those flashes of brilliance. He can be the best player, not just in Tottenham. He can be the best damn player in the league if he's at it. But then that's what it is. These are like flashes of brilliance, like half a second in like a 90-minute match, and then it's so frustrating. Like I said, if they play to his strengths and if he has a good season, perfect. But I don't see that happen because you look at the way Nuno's teams play. They press a lot. They harry their opponents a lot. Delhi just doesn't press anymore. You look at like 15-16 Delhi or 16-17 Delhi. Jamie, go ahead.
Carry on. No, finish what you're saying. I've just got something to say afterwards.
All right. So you look at like 15-16 Delhi, 16-17 Delhi. He would always press the players that who are around him. He doesn't do that anymore. I don't know, man. He seems really frustrating to me. Just sell him at this point. Just sell. But the problem with selling him is I don't know who's going to pay that price because Levy will ask for a lot of money for him. I don't know who's going to pay that. Yeah, Jamie, go ahead.
This is just to change tack a little bit. Just two interesting stories I've seen. One which might be like a red rag to a bull. After we've signed Nuno Espirito Santos, I'm just reading a story here now that's been within the last hour or so Patrick Vieira has just become the new head coach of Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Palace, yeah.
Yeah. We knew that
Yeah.
sometime. Yeah.
And
Okay,
also,
so yeah.
and also Insignia, apparently, along with Barcelona, which sort of scotches our chances, we're looking at Insignia.
Oh. How much?
Lorenzo Insigne, the good one or the bad one? There are two Insignias.
Okay, we're
The
talking about
insignia thing is not true. That's what the last thing I heard. I think I saw that post from Daily Hotspot, I guess. So yeah, there was some rumors today around afternoon, but yeah, it isn't true. I think it's only the media outlets of Italian like the Syria that they are trying to push this because Insignia got 1 year of contract left. Okay, so yeah,
So
that's the thing maybe.
basically, you're saying it's clickbait.
Yeah, it's a clickbait.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Okay, let's get
You
back to
will
the
see this
Delhi.
because Syria players will be linked throughout, right? Due to this parity
Sierra
coming
does
out
that a
here.
lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
we know. Yeah. Okay, Swayam, what do you think about Dele Alli? What's your feelings about him?
To be honest, he is only 25 right now, and I think maybe in another club he can rejuvenate himself. Like once upon a time, he was so good. If someone followed Tifo football, I don't know if anyone here followed Tifo football at YouTube. They're very good at explaining things of football related. And I saw that they compared Dele Alli to Thomas Muller, like space interpreter.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was that good once upon a time. But like after Jose came, I'm quite sure that Levy told Jose that you need to play Dele Alli and you need to get the best out of Dele Alli again. And he also said that I don't want to see the cousin of what's brother of Dele. I need to see the real Dele or something.
Yeah.
He also gave him chances and he also scored goals in the first few matches for Jose. But then in the Champions League, we also when he threw his boot into the stand and like it's your fault that you are not performing well. I think he just lost the plot somewhere, and now he is working
Yeah.
hard, but it's every season. For the last 2 seasons, he has been working hard. He has been working on his body, but what is the end product? Nothing, nil. So I think if we get a good offer for Delhi and then we get someone to replace him, we should go for that. Like Kamada, I think he can be a very good replacement. So yeah, we should go for it.
At the same token, like Shane said, we do need to get rid of the international deadwood, because if we get rid of Dele Alli, we've got we need to get rid of the international players first, purely and simply because of the regulations that mean we only have a certain balance. Yeah, homegrown regulations.
Yeah.
So he may be high on the list to get rid of, but he's not going to be at the top of the list.
True.
That's
I don't
how
think-
it should be top.
To be honest,
Yeah.
looking at the way that looking at the way that Levy operates, I don't think Ali is on the list at all. I don't think he's on the chopping block.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I don't
agree.
think Levy
To be honest, you guys, okay, hold on. To be honest, the way Levy's thinking, right? None of these guys are on the list. See? Okay, you know why? If Nuno can revive them and trust them, he doesn't have to spend money. You get what I'm saying? Right? Most probably he just might need to get 2 centre backs because we all know that Dyer, Sanchez, and Toby now wants to leave, right? So he has to cover that position. The rest of the positions that we have talent, but somehow along the way, this talent have just lost their principles, lost their focus, lost their fitness, and they can't play
And I
anymore.
also think that we don't need much of a alteration in this current squad. It's a good squad. I think there is a potential there. But yeah, like a small tweaks that you told, right? Like 2 centre backs is the most important thing. And based on how the offloads are, we need to strengthen and replace them. That's the most important thing as of yet, I think. Because we got
That's true.
immense amount of talent already in the team. It's just that, the commitment and stuff, I guess.
But Saika, the sad part about it, right? This talent that we have, right? They have been with us. Where's Saika gone to?
Exactly.
Oh, he's disappeared. Okay, but what's like I've been say, this talent that we've been having, right? They've been with us since Poch. Don't you see it? Right? And you talk about the next manager that came in was Jose. Jose couldn't bring the best out of them. Okay. And somehow or another, right, it got worse. Instead of getting better or just staying stagnant, we've dropped 2 or 3 rungs down. Correct? Now we bring Nuno in and expect Nuno to bring them back 4 or 5 rungs above that what we've gone down. So it's not going to be an easy job because football, apart from last time in the olden days, or let's say 20, 30, 40 years back, it's all very physical. But now football is very mental, right? If you don't have the mental part of it, you're gone. No matter how talented you are, no matter
But
how unless
I don't think it will be that much of difficult because all our players are more prone to attacking football. So, indulging Jose's philosophy and stuff, I think it was a bit more, pragmatic approach, and it was very difficult to imbibe because this Ndombele and whatever the project and Pochettino things they have seen and came to Spurs, those were the free flowing football that we all love about, right? So, and suddenly Jose come and give this his Jose type of treatment to every players and being first defend and then attack. I think it wasn't suitable for us. Like Audier and Reguilon, they are not that type of player. They're just flying with bats. They go just first. Their intention is to attack. Whenever they get the ball, attack. So that was missing, and also the praise was also not available in terms of Dele. In terms of Jose because he likes to sit down, composed, and again soak up the pressure and then counter attack. So I think it will not be difficult, but because of our style, and but most important thing is how what is his Nuno's approach. He is going for counter attacking, but as things is like he is telling in the in the interview and stuff. So I think it will be more like the Valencia times 4-4-2 or 4-3-1-2 or 4-3-2-1. Yeah.
I wanted to add on to what Eugene said, and that's very true. We can't just expect that each and every manager who comes in, we have to support them a bit. Sir Alex Ferguson himself had said that in 4 years you can get the best out of a squad, and after that you need to make changes, and that's why he was able to continuously sustain Manchester United for such a long time. And sure, we have a talented players, no doubt. There's no denying that at all, but we still can't just rely on them to just suddenly start performing, because a lot of them have been mediocre for a long time. Yeah, we have some new talent like Bergwijn and all. We should give them time. But for the ones who've been with us for a long time, it's time to move them on and get some fresh faces in, and then work with them and trying to get the best out of them, instead of just trying to get out the best out of the players who've been there for a long time. They've reached their best and now they're just losing their places.
That's true.
Yeah, so I have something to say here.
Go
we
ahead.
have been talking about fresh faces in the squad. If correct me if I'm wrong, but we are the 8th richest club in the world, right?
Yeah.
It's true.
On paper.
Supposedly.
On paper.
Yeah, supposedly. And now there are clubs like Aston Villa, Leicester City. They are far more ambitious than Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Leicester City has already lined up the replacement for Jamie Vardy. They have got Decore, and now Aston Villa, after their owners changed, now they have been pretty much ambitious. And I think
not
in 2
Dokore,
years,
I think Sumare, right? Bubakare Sumare.
oh yeah, Sumare. Yeah,
Sumare, no,
Yeah,
the
sorry,
striker they
Sumare.
got is Patson Daka.
Yeah, Patson
Daka
Daka,
and
what
Sumare.
talent.
They
Daka
get
and
another
Sumare.
striker as well. Odson Edward or someone like that. Didn't they get someone? Didn't they get another striker as well? I'll check.
Not yet. They're going on for it, but I don't think it's confirmed yet. But okay.
Odusana Edward is not currently a Leicester City player. Yeah. Maybe the transfer thing is going on, but
but not confirmed yet. Yeah. But the thing is very simple. Somehow or another, we lost our recruitment. That's all. For 2 years. Right? We brought in Steve Hitchen, lost our recruitment, and for 552 days, we didn't buy a single player. Right? But that was at that period of time. Now, with this period of time, we got Paratici in, we got Nuno in, right? The only thing that is blocking these two from actually performing will be you know who. Okay? Yes, I don't have a Will Stewart's button that press and you know who comes out. Right? So in the end of the day, it comes down to this kind of scenarios where who is going to loosen the pockets to bring these players in?
Correct.
The buck ends with Levy. That's all.
Right.
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 So
having said that, Go ahead. Finish what you said. Yeah.
Go ahead, Soyam.
No, what I was saying is that the thing is, this is where recruitment comes into play, because if you look at the players that Leicester are buying, they're not really spending crazy money by this market standards. They're spending in that 20 to 30 million range. That is the range that they're spending in, and they're getting one banger of a player after another. we are looking at, for let's say, Jules Koundé. On what earth are we going to get Jules Koundé in? He's like 60 million. Why do we even have the? Why are we with these players?
No, Soham,
I think-
don't you see? That is all the smokes and mirrors. We always
Yeah.
get linked to.
Yeah,
we
I
always
agree.
get linked to all the top players, highest players.
Skriniar, just like Skriniar last season.
Yes.
Skriniar.
And have you heard that we've been linked to Messi too?
There's also
We couldn't afford Messi's boots.
okay, sorry, Sanskar. There was a comment I saw on ESPN FC that was saying that Leicester they just stick solids, they stick to a plan, they move it forward, whereas Levy wants to do that, but he still wants to do the marquee, try to be the marquee signer, or want to be seen to be flashing the cash, or to having a champagne team, but we haven't got champagne money.
I love Leicester's owner. Leicester's owner is he's so involved, and like, why did we have to get stuck with Levy? Like,
See, the thing is,
20 years.
Look, he is involved, but then he's not involved in the footballing side of things. He lets the correct professionals run that side of things. Levy is like involved, but then he's also involved in the footballing side of things, where he does not have any knowledge of how to operate. That is what fucks us over every time.
But with Paratici coming in, I think things will be changed, because Paratici, of that stature recruitment that you make, I don't think that with those, when they were signing the contracts and they were discussing about the roles and stuff, I don't think that if Levy would have told him that I will be the last person you are going to come and stuff, then I don't think that Paratici would have accepted it.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I
He wouldn't
think
be
that
just the second line,
because there are several clubs that are going after him, like Paratici. So I don't think that he was bound to, because we needed him more than he needed us, right? So
Is
I
that
think
so? Because to be honest, I did not see any links of Paratici to any other club.
See, that's the thing with other clubs. They already have, like Chelsea and all. They don't need Paratici. They have ambitious owners. They are doing the right thing.
No, if you look into the past 3-4 years, there were several clubs. Like I think I saw one of the interviews of Fabrizio Romano, so where they told that Atletico Madrid and then Olympique Lyon and Real Madrid also to some extent was going after Paratici at that point of time. Before he became, I think, CEO, he was operating in DOF role only. So I think Paratici has immense amount of stature and contacts now also in terms of the position that he holds in. So I think that Levy wouldn't have just told him that I will take all the final decisions and stuff, and he would have accepted it. That's all what I think. Yeah, but I may be wrong. Yeah.
Shane, what do you think?
I'd love to see Levy say, "This is a budget we've got. Go out and get the players." You know, 250 million to spend. Go out, get the players. But we all know that's not Levy's way. Just look at Levy Land, the hotels that he's putting up. It's a business. It's not a football club anymore.
He's more like, this is a player. We can spend this much on the player.
I think the problem is that I think with Levy, right, he doesn't like come up with a budget. Okay, it's something like, okay, I'm going to give you 50 million net spend. Okay, it doesn't matter who you throw out and who you bring in, just as long you don't spend over this 50 million, right? Levy's problem is that he says that, okay, you can sell these players, but the price is, I will fix it. You can buy these players, but the price I want, I will fix it. So in the end of the day, he will frustrate.
Previously, this was the working type, right? Because Levy was the only person who was dealing with the things. Now he got Paratici, so he has to tell him that this is the budget we got. Because it's not only him that who is operating all these ins and outgoings, right? So I think this time it will be changed.
Yeah,
I hope it will be changed.
That is what we hope for.
Yeah.
That's what we hope for. Okay, because deep down inside, right, we can't trust that guy. You remember what Jose said in the GQ interview, right? he was actually conned into a job which he thought that he was being given all the things that he needs to be
Authority,
given. Yeah. But in the end,
I
he didn't
think
get
that
anything.
Pochettino also told sometime around, right, that I am just a coach. I am not the
He,
manager. He
yeah, he's
told him,
a coach,
told the
but
press.
not the manager. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And Sway, I'm sorry, what you want to say?
Yeah, so like Paratigi, I agree that he's one of the best when you get to the football side of scouting talents. But I think that somehow is he still like as Shane said that you cannot expect Levy to have a big budget, and Paratigi has always been known to bring up high profile players with like a big budget. Like he'll not get that. I know he'll not get that. Levy can say him that okay, I want this player like Kunde, like it's a smoke screen, and then they sell you 60 million. Levy will say no, I'm not getting Kunde. I'll go for my second option, and then Paratici have to go for second option. The thing is that Paratici can only work if Levy lets him work. If we will not let him work, we are not getting good players. That's a simple thing.
But with this Kunde links and stuff, right? People are saying it's 50 million, 60 million. It doesn't go like that, right? It doesn't have to be an initial pay of that amount of money. It can be on 5 years installment, 4 year installment. So things are there because with the Sancho one, there is 85 million quid, but there is 5 years installment. So that's how it's going. The structure is there. So it's very less amount of time that people come with a transfer and give them all the money at the same time or the majority of the money. It's just that there are some several structures that need to be followed. So yeah, if he generally wants Kunde and with Paratici's know-how, technical know-how of the things and the deals that he has done, I think he can do it. It's up to the player that he wants to play for us or not, given we are not in the Champions League.
Kunde is
But
not
does
coming. Kunde has
Nuno
already
want him?
said that he doesn't want to play in a club which doesn't have Champions League. I mean, even Kunde can easily go to a club which is playing Champions League.
I
He's not
think he
coming.
will go to Real Madrid with if Varane goes to United or PSG.
Probably. I mean, if he's getting a knock on the door from Real Madrid, he won't even look twice at Spurs' offer, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we've got. I think Eugene is talking to Daniel. Yeah, Yidkid. So sorry for
take
this.
over
Sorry.
for a while. Take over for a while,
Okay.
Gene.
Okay. So, really, we're sort of we was in a total mess without the manager. We're now talking about the direction we want to move in with a manager, and whether Levy's going to stick his oar in and screw us over with that manager. So, what expectation? I mean, what expectation? I know there's Swayam's mentioned something about the Champions League. That was something that was not delusional a couple of years ago. But realistically, what do you think is going to be the Spurs' position this season? Is it going to be more of the same, or are we actually going to start climbing back up to our former level?
I don't think we can comment on it right now because first we need to
We can speculate.
see who
We can
gets.
speculate.
Like right now, honestly, I'm hopeful, and I am hopeful that like with Nuno coming in and with Paratici looking over the transfers, that I feel like that we should be finishing in the top four this season because even last season with these set of players, yeah, we slipped off in the middle. But when all of them were playing, when Regular, even Ndombele and Hoiberg were playing, we were pretty good. And like apart from our playing style, which wasn't that attractive, we did beat the likes of Man City. We gave competition to Chelsea. We thrashed United, and we did show that like with this set of players that we can play football. In the latter end of the season, everything went to hell. That's true. But then that start of the season showed one thing that yeah, maybe we can't sustain just on these players, but we can play the football we want and we can compete against the big guns with these players. Now it's just a question of depth and these players performing throughout the season and Nuno making sure that happens. So I feel like I think it's not wrong to hope that we can finish top four because I believe that we are capable of performing that way and finishing top four.
Okay, so
I'm
you're saying,
just
Karen Shane.
I'm just hoping we finish mid-table this season, just to get rid of some of the dead wood. It's going to take a couple of seasons to get rid of all the dead wood. If we finish mid-table or higher, that'll be good, as long as we beat Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm happy as long as we finish above Arsenal.
But that's what happened to us at the end of this season. As long as we are ahead of Arsenal, I think it just goes back to what was mentioned earlier. Yes, we would like it to be a bounce back year, but it's still a transitional year. But hopefully,
even Arsenal are active in the transfer market right now. Like they finished and they know that they have to be active. Like they signed, I think they signed or are really close to signing Nuno Tavares, and like they're active. Like I don't understand why we aren't.
They are inactive.
Nuno Tavares actually he's a right back, and he's actually a pretty good talent. Like
it's Nuno Tavares and I think Logonga from Anderlecht.
Yeah, him too.
We'll end up getting Max Aarons
from Norwich.
From Norwich.
No need of Aarons with that point of that much of money, right? Just go and get Denzel Dumfries. See how he plays with 3-5-2. He will be fantastic.
He's a right Dumfries is
but Dumfries, I'm thinking
Dumfries looks like just like a, what should I say? He's like a more productive version of Aurier. He did not look good defensively to me. I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's why he's a RWP, right wing back. He's not a R right back. But if you are looking for right back, then go for Joachim Mele.
I don't think Dumfries will be like. We can't have Doherty and Dumfries and like bench Dumfries. Like he wouldn't accept that. If we do get him, then like he will expect to start, because after this Euros, a lot of clubs would be looking to sign him.
Right. So one thing is just okay. Can you hear me still?
Yeah.
We never stopped hearing you.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. The screen just froze up on my end for some reason. Anyway, yeah.
Maybe a cat. Maybe the cat got some of the wires.
No, it's not the cat this time. It's not the cats this time. Anyway, yeah. So, like, in terms of my expectations for this season, like, Sanskar was saying top 4, but if we have to finish top 4, we have to finish above one of either Man City or Chelsea or United or Liverpool. Now, which one of those 4 teams do we have a better squad than right now? Neither.
None of them. And we got to beat Leicester and Leeds.
I would say Leeds.
Aston Villa.
Leeds are not consistent enough. I'd say in terms of like squad, I think we're probably like the 6th best squad in the Premier League. And I think that's where we will finish. I think we'll finish 6th. Leicester will finish just above us. I think we'll finish 6th.
So we're aiming for a better competition than the Tin Cup, maybe the Europa League, and making this transition year a productive year rather than a skyrocket.
But I think what Soham said, right, that with United and Liverpool, I think there is a good squad that we already inherit. It's just about the tweaks and how we play. I think there is a very good squad. We have saw the glimpses of it on previous season, but I don't know that Nuno is the best person to bring that around or not. But yeah, I think we have a very good squad already in place. It's just the tweaks and changes that we have to make in the back. Then I think we are pretty good to go.
Thing is, if you see, the 6th best squad out of 20 is not bad. That is a good squad. But is it better than the 4 squads in front of us? Are we better than Liverpool? Are we better than Man City? Absolutely not. Just let's get that one out of the way. Are we better than Chelsea?
Man City. No one can ever hope to compete with Man City. But
exactly.
You can look at Chelsea. Because see, Chelsea have a great squad, but at the start of the season, they weren't able to do it.
Don't have a proper striker as of yet.
A lot. They got caught up with us
without a proper striker. They are playing without a proper striker. They are playing Kai Havertz in sort of like false 9 something, and they're still doing the job. It is just 1-0 victories that they're scraping out, but they're still doing the job. Liverpool, once they have Van Dijk and the rest of the squad back, they just automatically become the 2nd best team in England. The only thing I can say, the only team we can topple is United, and that's not because the players are bad. They're actually fixing the squad this time. It's because of the manager. Ole is not a top level manager, and under any Ole is like
just got Sancho.
United's trust in Ole is just surprising. Like
You know,
Just
Yeah.
Like
surprised.
Liverpool is buying
but you see,
Konate.
but you must understand, all these top four clubs, right? When they go for someone, they go for someone with quality, right? And they are willing to splash out the money. For Spurs, is that we never do that. But let's see what is going to happen with Paratici and Nuno. Whether they can actually force Levy's hands to do something. Because in the end of the day, if they fail, right, Levy is going to put the blame on them. So the pressure is so much higher on them than on Levy now. Levy has made a very brilliant move. He has actually deflected all blame to two other people. That's all, right? But in the end of the day, who is going to spend the money? That is all. It comes down to who will open the pockets and spend the money. Who will bring out the checkbook and write the checks, correct? We can keep on talking about whatever players we want, whatever players might come in, whatever players might go out. But in the end of the day, like I said before, Nuno was brought in to do a job, right? The job is, right, whether it's rebuilding or whether it's trying to get back the confidence in the squad that he has. And if it's the rebuilding part, right, it's a positive move, correct? Like, I'm not sure you've heard of Stelios before from Tottenham away. He has said this before. You bring in a manager, your objective must be to win, right? But that what we see in Nuno is that he said before, he's coming back to make us proud again, correct? And that word has been said a lot of times. Okay, go ahead, Shane. What do you have to say?
not only proud, but Tottenham DNA. What is the Tottenham DNA? I've heard it that much over the last 2 weeks that it's driving me insane.
Definitely no ambition. Do not attend to the stadium games. Nah, the thing is that, right, to tell the truth, what Levy put out there saying the Tottenham DNA is he's just deflecting the issue again, right?
Even
our
Nuno said it.
Yeah. So actually, our DNA, if we want to be a big club, okay, we have the biggest, bestest, bad English. I know Jamie's gonna say you can't use that word.
I'm
Right?
not going to
Bestest.
say anything.
Yeah,
I'm not
right.
going to say anything.
We have the best facilities in whole of Europe, and we don't use it. Why do we build it?
Exactly.
Correct. Yeah. So, like coming down to the bottom of it, the transfer, we've already settled the how we say. We already settled the manager part. Now we have to look at the transfer part. Okay, Saikat says he has to go, so just say goodbye to him. Saikat, would you like to?
Nice meeting you.
Sorry, would you like to let us know where we can find you? Are you affiliated to any club or any kind of channels that we can get hold of you?
Yeah, I like in terms of groups, I'm in Bangalore Spurs group and Kolkata Spurs group as of yet. So yeah, I think we can find out here, or you can reach me out on WhatsApp or anything. So
Okay, I have got your contact. I'll reach out to you again, Sakat. Take
Sure,
care. Have a
anytime.
good day. Sorry, have a good night. Reach
Yeah,
night
it's,
right there.
it's, it's night time now.
evening,
It's
it's
night
evening.
time now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. We catch up later, Sakat. Take care.
Sure, yeah. Looking forward to
care.
see you all guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Okay.
Have
Thank
a
you for
good
coming.
evening, mate.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, we got to be considerate of Shane as well, because according to the clock, it's about to be Monday for him. So
How are you doing, Shane?
Yeah, I'm okay. It's almost midnight, but I'm okay. I'm usually awake until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning anyway, so yeah. I don't have to be anywhere in the morning.
it might well be with us then.
Okay, Shane, just hold on for a while. Let me bring in another guest. Okay, let me introduce you first to the guys on the square little boxes in front of you. This is Daniel, the Yit Kid, right? Daniel, you already know Jamie. I'm not sure you met Shane Black, right? I think I've seen him first time meeting Shane Black.
I've seen him in the chat a few times.
Yeah, so he's on our channel today, and I'm sure you met Soham, right? from the last week.
Yeah.
Yep. And this is Sanska, and this is
Hey.
Swayam. Yeah, and this
Nice
is
to meet
Daniel. He's from America.
Okay.
America.
Nice to meet you, man.
Okay, he may look like our junior brother, but I promise you, he is a wise man on a boy's shoulders. You'll find this out very quickly.
Yeah.
Hey Daniel,
So,
nice to meet you, mate. I just want to know what's your take on the Argentina game today or yesterday
It
for
was
you?
it was yesterday for me, I think. I
Yesterday
mean,
for you, yeah.
I was going for Bolivia. They were really unlucky. They had a lot of chances there. I mean, I was watching the game, right?
Ecuador.
You mean Ecuador,
No,
right?
yeah, Ecuador. Ecuador had a lot of
Ecuador.
chances. They were so close to scoring. I think what's his name? Valencia was very wasteful of his chances. But at the end of the day, Argentina, and they're always gonna get far in the Copa America. I'm waiting for the final because apparently the final might be Brazil Argentina, but that would be a tasty one.
What
Nasty
did you
one.
think of Lo Celso's performance?
Lo Celso, to be honest, it was like basically watching Lo Celso in Tottenham. Average. You expect him to play that way, right? I mean, at least we didn't see him dribble out of bounds.
Don't go there. Yeah.
Guys, sorry to
That's-
interrupt, but
that's what
apparently,
Levy. That's what Levy does when he looks at his bank
I just wanted
balance.
to pass on one news. So apparently, according to Alistair Gold, that Ryan Sessegnon will be staying at the club next season to play under Nuno.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good. That's good news. That's good news. At least it's giving youth a chance. And okay, just Daniel. We've been
So are we
around
with
for
his kid.
yeah. We've been around for nearly 2 hours. We've been talking about the what I call Nuno and transfers and all that. So, what do you think about Nuno?
I think he could play. He does play good football. Sometimes he plays defensive, but most of the time he plays attacking football. What I think needs to happen is Daniel Levy cannot interfere in any of the football. He brought a board of director and a manager for a reason. They're the ones that's gonna do stuff. I don't want Daniel Levy sitting with them in breakfast telling them how to play football. Right? Don't be telling them to play Eric Dyer and Harry Winks. It's just useless. Let them play their football.
See?
Let them play their football. They know what they're doing. They were successful at Wolves, and they're going to be successful at Tottenham if you just let them do what they need to do.
So true. So true. Right. So, and what about Harry Kane?
This is actually something that I said about Nuno, right? The only problem with Nuno is if we don't know if it's enough for Harry Kane to stay. We don't know if it's convincing enough, right? What do you if we got Jose Mourinho and Levy told him to hold on for another year because we might be successful in winning trophies, and then he stayed and we weren't successful in winning trophies. What do you think he's gonna think if Daniel Levy tells him the exact same thing, but for Nuno Espirito Santos?
That's true. That's true. Okay. And
Is Nuno a stopgap, or is he part of the transition and future?
I think it's just Daniel Levy not wanting to get too much hate going into the season without a manager. Because let's be honest, if we would have opened the season with Ryan Mason, imagine that opening game versus Man City.
Yeah, Brian would be happy because it would give him more ammunition to.
cuss it.
I can see you. You could see me. But you could see that he wasn't thinking about the future. Because if he was thinking about the future, it wouldn't be a 2-year deal.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, guys, there's a question here, right? You were talking about the stopgap. Okay, a lot of people feels that like Nuno is just there to pass another 2 years, so maybe Poch can come back. What do you all guys think? Anyone?
I don't think Poch's coming back for at least 5 or 6 years. I think Poch will get an extension at PSG. He'll win the treble next year with PSG, and he won't be coming back for it anytime soon.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Or at very least, he'll be watching to see whether we mess up or we get our ideas bucked up. before he thinks about coming back.
Yeah, now they've got Sergio Ramos, so they're looking for something next season.
He's getting so old, he might end up becoming their next manager at some point. Think about it.
Thing with Nuno is, I think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but when Poch signed his first ever contract with us, wasn't it like a 2 or 3 year deal as well? Wasn't that like a very short contract as well?
I wasn't alive then.
Poch.
Yeah.
When Poch signed his contract, I think Poch got a 3+1.
Yeah,
was it
me
4
check.
4
Let me
plus
check.
1 or something like that?
It was 4+1. Was it that long?
No, it was 4. It was 4, then it plus another 2. That's when he started.
Never mind. It was a 5-year contract. Never mind.
5-year contract. It was 5 years straight. Yeah. 5 years straight.
Never mind then. Yeah, I was completely wrong then. Yeah. In that case, this is definitely a stopgap. Yeah. I was about to say this was more like a trial and see. Like if it goes well, we'll give you a longer contract sort of a thing. But yeah, if it's just 2 years, then it's probably a stopgap.
Yeah. So let's say just say Wayne Bonner has said that I think it's convenient that Nuno signed a 2-year deal, the same as Poch. Yeah. It looks convenient, but the only thing is that if Nuno is successful in doing the things that he's supposed to do, maybe not getting us top 4, getting us top 6 in the first season as in, and maybe we reach top 4 in the second season, right? And then Poch comes available, right? What will happen then? Will the fans demand that Poch comes back, or will we stick with Nuno? That is the turning point. That could be the turning point for us.
Or are we thinking above our station because now he's at PSG? Coming to Tottenham, unless there's a radical change, would be a step back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We have to be sure that he wants to even come to Tottenham. If he wants to come to Tottenham, then let's do it. But if he's not, we're gonna end up like a situation that we were this summer.
I think a 2-year deal is okay because it works as both ways. It's both of a stopgap. If Poch becomes available, we'll get him. If he's not, Nuno's doing well, we can just extend that contract. I think it's both at the same time.
I think it's just
go ahead, Daniel.
Well, I was just gonna say, I think it's Levy preparing for this not to go well, and then not having to pay when he sacks him.
That's one part. And Shane, you were saying Poch doing the treble.
I reckon Poch will do the treble, but I think it's the way football's going at the moment with shorter contracts. Every club's offering like 2 or 3 years, where in the past they were offered 5 or 6.
Yeah.
You know, the whole contract situation's changed.
For managers.
Yeah.
But if I'm not mistaken, Nuno actually has a 2+1.
Still 3 years.
Yeah.
The one is optional.
One is optional. Yeah. Right. And like what you're saying, Shane, is very correct. Not many clubs nowadays give a manager a straight out 5-year contract. Not many clubs. Yeah. That's the thing. And the thing is that for Poch to get the treble in La Liga, it wouldn't be difficult, but he needs to win the Champions League. I think what the PSG owners have come to the senses is that I think they figure out that winning their local league in a one-horse race shouldn't be a problem, right? Even though Poch lost that last year to
Tottenham DNA. There you go, Tottenham DNA.
Yeah, what were your thoughts on Nuno's comments about the DNA? Because I found them quite worrying.
It sounded to me like he wanted to pursue a career in like biology or something, and he did not get to do that. And instead he became a football manager, and he still obsesses over DNA. My goodness, how many times did he say DNA in that one? 5 times?
On that, I particularly feel that it wasn't actually what Nuno wanted to say, but something like Levy was holding up a board saying, say DNA.
Yeah.
Like what the Sanskar is saying is very true, right? Whatever is being put out on all these press conferences and all that, day one, when you looked at what Ryan Mason was saying, right, we were all perplexed, right? He didn't know about the ESL, and he doesn't think about the ESL. Come on, what kind of BS are you talking about? The whole world is talking about the ESL, and you say you're not focused on it, you don't know anything about it. I've not looked up into it. Come on. And the only, I think, press conferences were good is because when Jose was there, he just gave it all out.
Yeah.
Yes, you know,
That's
he
always
didn't have a
happened.
handbrake. So that, I think, irked Levy, right?
A lot.
To a certain
A
extent.
lot.
To a certain extent that he couldn't take it. Okay. And that's why a lot of people are speculating, why did Levy sack him 6 days before the cup final? Maybe it's because he didn't want Jose to go into a press conference and talk, to say the things that he's going to say, right, in the press conference before the cup final.
Yeah.
And it'd be damning for
That's
him.
possible.
That's why he just had
That's
to
possible.
get rid of him quickly.
Another
And of course,
another
maybe the money and all that.
yeah,
Right?
another rumor I've heard a few other rumors that he had a thing in his contract where if he won a trophy he would get more
money.
Yeah. And
More
another
money.
thing I heard that is Levy is always focusing on the top four. That he didn't really care too much about the Carabao Cup. So Levy wanted Jose to play all his best players in the Premier League to try and get top four. But then Jose wanted to rest them for the League Cup final. That's another reason I heard.
That's why, if you look back on Poch's history during his press conferences, right, during his tenure, we always reach the semi-finals of the League Cup or the FA Cup, right? Then Poch will turn around and says that this is not important. Important is top four and Champions League. This is not important. Important is top four and Champions League. But the fact is that, right, we could have gotten at least 2 or 3 trophies under Poch's tenure.
Yeah.
Easily.
100%.
Yeah. But somehow or another, I think that's when Poch went to the Champions League final, right? That was more or less his objective. Remember, he says that if I win this cup, most probably I will resign. I will retire.
Yeah.
My objective has been reached. You see? So all the things that Poch was saying 1.5 years before his sacking, he was already taking indirect jibes at Levy.
I think this could be a reason why Levy was a bit hesitant to meet Conte's demand, because like Conte is a manager on the level of Mourinho, so he would have to listen to Conte on certain matters as compared to someone like Nuno, who he has maybe a slightly more say over. But when it comes to someone of the level of Conte is going to have his say, otherwise he won't come. And I think that's why Levy was a bit hesitant to already agree with his demands of salary and backroom staff.
You see, the problem with Conte and Levy is that we do not know what actually happened between these two. Okay, of course we know that Conte's demands Levy will never meet, and I think most probably is that Levy didn't have the balls or courage, right, to lie to Conte or con Conte into the job, because he knows that if you lie to Conte or try to con Conte into the job, right, you don't give him what he wants, he will walk out the door tomorrow. That's all.
He is unhinged. Conte is absolutely unhinged.
Yeah.
Just a step below Gattuso.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Exactly.
See?
Mourinho at least has like some sort of like PR etiquette.
No,
Conte
Mourinho didn't have that kind of etiquette. Mourinho didn't have a choice. After the MU debacle that he had, right?
Maybe.
He didn't get a job for nearly a year.
Exactly.
You see? So that means when Levy got to Mourinho, he got him at Levy's advantage. So whatever Levy said, he would just say yes and walk in. Yeah. You open a trap door, Jose walked into it. And when Jose started to feel that trap door close on him, he started to lose heart himself. Even before the January transfer started, the season before, we were where? We were the top of the league just before the January transfer window opened, right?
Yeah.
But Mourinho was already saying, we ain't buying anyone. So that more or less killed his ambition. So if you kill my ambition, I don't care. Your players don't care too. So why should I care? That's when our form started to drop. Performance were inconsistent. Jose was trying all kinds of tactics, going round and round. Didn't stick to his principles.
Or did he just cut out?
Huh? Sorry?
Are you still there? Yeah. Okay, you're back. All right. You're close for a second.
Okay. I think it's your internet. So the problem with Jose is that we can't blame him for everything, but there also, how you say it's that there were problems with him, because the way he coaches is the way he doesn't coach, right? He manages.
Exactly. He manages.
You see, the problem with Jose, he's a manager. I don't coach you. I expect you to be at the level of the elites when I get you. I only tell you how to play the game. That's all. You see? And of course, the players started to turn on him too, right? Yeah.
I think it's something like that worked a lot more in like the 2000s. Like that was his peak era, because I don't think there was this much of a focus on pressing at that point of time yet. I think that this entire pressing game focus, this started to develop from like the early 2010s. It came in as a response to like the tiki-taka sort of play, which a lot of clubs started to adopt. Like, but they would keep the ball, they would keep play short passes among themselves, build the play slowly, and the pressing play came in as a natural response to that. Like, no, we cannot have our opponents keep the ball for this amount of time. We have to press them. We have to press them. That is why it came in. And to play that kind of pressing game, you need a lot of fitness. You need a lot of focus. The thing is, that's just not something that Mourinho adapted to. Like that mentality that the players will do their own gym work, the players will do their own exercises, and then I'll just manage them. Then I'll just do the tactical side of things. That just doesn't work anymore. You have to drill them in, day out. And this is what you know what? I actually like Nuno's approach. I feel like Nuno is, in a way, he is like halfway between Poch and Mourinho. So on one hand, he has he has like the coaching ethics that Poch had, like drill the players regularly, have them go through the same training routines, the same like physically demanding training exercises every day, day in, day out. And at the same time, he is very tactically flexible. So I think if things go right, if he gets the players he wants, we could have something on our hands with Nuno. But again, with Levy, that is a massive if. That is a massive if.
Okay, just a message from Wayne Bonner. If Nuno is successful, stick with him and keep the momentum. And let's hope it makes sense. It makes sense, right? Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Okay, guys, have we had enough talk about Tottenham? And shall we change the subject?
Sure.
Right. Sure. What about Sanska and Siam? Can you hear me?
Yep, sure.
Okay, why don't we go to the Euros? Okay, we just go one by one. Let's see which team you support. Okay, I support England. Jamie?
No comment. You don't even need to ask.
And Shane?
Denmark.
Shane is Denmark.
Okay, can we block Shane?
I'm not that who, right? Who blocks people who don't agree with him.
No, I don't block anybody, but he's pulling the Aussie card.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do some pommy bashing. It's my birthright.
Yeah, make sure to open your doors because football's coming home.
Okay, Yikis England too. What about you, Sayam?
I think I am rooting for Spain, but as long as Harry Kane wins a trophy, I'll be rooting for England then.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a thing.
So you're sitting on the fence.
So
one team.
The thing is, I don't really care too much about international football. The day India play in an international tournament, I'll support India. As far as simply, I just don't care about it.
No, just pick one team. You got 4 teams.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Which team has the most Tottenham players right now? Which one? I don't know.
France or Wales?
France is out.
No, right now. Out of the existing teams, it's Tottenham, it's England, right? Only England is
Denmark.
Denmark and Denmark. England and Denmark. One each.
Yeah. Anyone.
One each.
I think I'm going for England, but if England doesn't win, I'd love it for Denmark.
Yeah, the thing is,
because of what happened to Christian Eriksen.
Yeah, thing is, from my perspective, England should be a safer bet because England are more likely to win than Denmark. But my God, the England fan base is absolutely insufferable. My goodness.
We're being
hold on.
We're being very Spursy about.
Okay, hold on. Let's get Sanska. Who do you think?
See, I've been England all the way, and I'm hoping that it's coming home.
Okay, that's
right.
3 votes, the majority. You got three England votes, and then a wishy-washy Denmark. Yeah,
and Spain.
Wishy-washy.
Yeah, you're just doing the. Well, he's English. I'll pick whatever he didn't pick. Okay, who's stirring a drink? I've got headphones on.
Who's stirring a drink?
Yeah, I've got headphones on, so it's like.
Okay, let's say what Wayne Bonner says. Obviously, want England to win, but I think Italy will win the Euros. Yeah.
Yeah, that's realistic.
Yeah, that's the realistic
You know
part.
what? You know what? I actually have a bit of a hot take. If England make it to the final and it's against Italy, I think England will win. I think England will win. I think yes. So, because if England line up the way that they did against Germany, Italy are good, but Italy are not breaking that. What was that against Germany? Like that's like some Catenaccio type of bullshit. Like what?
Okay, Sam.
They could have.
Remember, we have a junior with us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
They could have.
You did this last week as well. You got passionate and then you got potty mouth.
Yep. I do have a bad mouth. I do have a bad mouth. Yeah, every time I come on to these streams, I'll probably just put on a parental advisory sticker just before I come on.
Put on a disclaimer.
I've got one for you. You can use this.
Yeah.
But okay, seriously. Out of the 4 teams, right? The performance-wise, actually, all points to England. Correct. England hasn't conceded a goal.
Yeah, you know the last time England have conceded a goal.
But they have not played actually a strong team till now.
Germany?
Somehow or another they've
Germany?
Germany was the one, yeah. But that's the only team. Along the way they played Croatia, but Croatia is out too. But Croatia is old. Germany also is an aging team, right? And don't forget the teams that we've been playing with at that level, right? We've all been playing them home, guys. The fans, they're all behind England, okay? And now we are reaching a stage, right, in the semi-finals to the finals. It's all being played in Wembley, right? So the home fans will play a big part in all the finals. And of course, Shane, Denmark and England is coming up against each other for this semi-finals. Do you think the Danes have a chance?
I want to see Højbjerg win. I'm a big Højbjerg Viking mentality.
Well, remember he sells alcohol, so he's probably going to be wanting the Danish brews to increase in sales.
I'm actually a recovering alcoholic, so that makes it difficult working in a bottle shop as well.
It takes a lot of willpower.
Yeah, a lot of willpower.
Keep it up, bro.
Okay, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah, keep it up.
I've been clean and sober for almost 5 years now, so
that's good.
Great.
So I was a very heavy drinker, and I just stopped. So, but I still work in the industry.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just keep
up the good work.
Keep up the good work and make sure that you're selling, not buying.
I think it's going to be a Denmark-Italy final.
Wayne Bonner said that, yeah.
I think Denmark is going to be too hot to handle for England.
Is it a sentiment thing because of Ericsson?
Yeah, definitely.
A little bit.
I have a bit of a script for this match. It goes like this: the England fans are all pumped up right now with all this. It's coming home and all that malarkey.
Imagine if Denmark wins the Euros. Imagine what that would do to football.
That'd be massive.
Imagine.
Denmark has won it before.
Yeah, 9-2.
I know, but never with the circumstances that have happened. Their best player almost dying on the pitch. I mean, like the headlines would be full of stuff there.
Yeah, I mean that's some Hollywood material right there.
Exactly. They should make a movie out of that one.
Yeah. They probably will. It just won't get released worldwide. It'll get released in Scandinavia and certain parts of Brisbane.
So what I'm expecting from that time is England will take a 1-0 lead and then get really overconfident and start playing the attacking football that they did last night. Except that Denmark are better than Ukraine and they'll take better of their chances and then they'll do it 2-1.
Yeah,
and
that's
my expectation.
Somebody has a siren in the background. But you know an interesting stat? The last time England have made it to a quarterfinal without conceding a goal was when they won the World Cup.
Yeah, 66. That's true.
Yeah, that is a very interesting stat. And if you look at it, you might say that there's a few teams that they haven't played that aren't strongest. But it's kind of like that. Hey, Guguma, hey everyone.
Yeah.
It's
I
fine.
like to say a shout out to Guguma. Hi everyone.
Yeah.
Sorry to join late. I'm happy to catch up the live though. Oh, Guguma, no problems. Thank you for joining us. She's from Korea, and she's always on Will THSC rants.
Yeah, I have to ask her. Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
They're both both Gogoma and Wayne Bonner. They're both part of Will's Rangers. They're Patreon supporters of Will's
Rangers,
channels. So we're a little baby channel, and we're hoping to get there one
Thanks
day.
for the support. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's see what Wayne thinks. I think Denmark are better than people think, right? They've grown stronger with each game, and they are very strong and solid team. Yeah, they look strong.
I totally agree with everything Wayne just said. Yeah, they've been building and building and building throughout the competition, and whoever builds and builds will end up winning.
Yeah.
But Daniel, you were going to say something?
Yep.
I was just gonna say I love Goguma's emojis. Her emojis. She has to teach me to do those. The emoji that she does.
You gotta reach out to and try to get contact with her. Right. But coming back to the Euros, okay, the surprise loss of the teams that were supposed to be there and what we have now, right? Like, of course, the biggest surprise was Holland, correct?
France, in my opinion, France.
France.
Oh, France, yeah, France too, Holland, right?
There's been a lot of
surprises.
France, Holland, Germany, Portugal, the pre-tournament favorites.
The whole group of death has died.
It was very deadly.
There was something in the name that sort of gave you the indication.
Yeah, but okay. More or less, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Not 4.
We have the Magnificent Seven.
We have 7. No, I'm saying Soham is he doesn't want to pick who wants to win the England. So more or less, we have 3.5 to 4.5 for England, or 5.5 for England, or 6.5, 5.5. Yeah.
No, it won't be 6.5 because Shane is in the Denmark camp.
Shane is in the Denmark camp.
Yeah, I'll probably say Denmark. Just for the sentimental reason. That's it.
Yeah, me too. I'll say
now it's changed.
Shane started the silent revolution.
Come to my side.
Come to the dark side.
To be really honest, it's not hard to think that Denmark can win. Like in 2018 World Cup, we saw England going a goal up and then they conceded. So Croatia beat England that time. So it's also possible. Like Denmark can.
I think the same thing's going to happen. Also, one more thing. England have been unbeaten at Wembley for a long time. Do you know who was the last team to beat England at the Wembley?
Denmark.
Yep.
Yeah, Denmark. That's true. But was it a friendly or was it World Cup qualifying?
Well, I think it was Nations League. I think it was neither of the two. I think it was Nations League.
Nations League. Oh, just recently too. Yes. The UEFA Nations League. I think about 1 year ago. 1 year ago.
Yeah, I think something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
They had Ericsson at that time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now since we're talking about Euros, guys, what player have you seen from Euros? I mean, don't name Paul Pogba because that's not someone we can buy. But what player from Euros have you seen who you would like Spurs to buy? Not that they're going to buy them, but you'd like to see them at Spurs.
Orsic.
Oh.
Orsic.
Look, I know what he did to us. But he's a good player. He's actually a great player.
But isn't he a bit old?
Right. Yeah, he's old. He's 28 or 29.
Yeah. Okay, let's say what Guguma said.
Thank you for saying that. I mean, some of us are a few decades older than that even. So
Guguma says, yes, it's very possible Denmark to take it. Seems like they have the momentum. Yeah, we agree to that too. Right?
Yeah.
Even though we are all England fans. Most of us are England fans here. Yeah.
Inside, we're all England fans.
After all the switching over.
Yeah, Shane with his powers of persuasion.
That are mind tricks.
Yeah. So Shane, which player do you think? Just one, like what Soham said.
I think Milankovic. Milankovic.
Milankovic, the defender.
Yeah.
Who? I don't get the name.
Milenkovic.
Oh, Sergej Milankovic. No, is that one? Or Nikola Milankovic, the centre back,
Nikola
right?
Milenkovic. Yeah, the
Centre back, yeah.
Centre back. Okay. Oh, what team did he play for? I did not notice.
Milankovic, some Italian team, right?
No, I'm talking about Euros. I'm talking about the Euros. What player from the Euros would you like to see at Tottenham?
Sound like he might be like a Serbian or a Czech player.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I did not see Milenkovic in the Euro. That's why I got confused for a while.
I mean,
I
also,
thought-
thinking of Czech, Patrick.
Schick,
yeah.
striker, Schick.
That's
You
another
know
one.
what? A player that I would like to see is the Eriksen replacement at Denmark, Mikkel Damsgaard. I've been really impressed with Damsgaard from what I've seen.
Well, we've been feeling the waters for him for the past few weeks.
Have we?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
Whether we'll get him or not is a totally different matter. But there's definitely been.
Linked.
Yeah, we're in talks with everybody, James.
No, let me fact up.
Because from what I've seen of the guy, he can play.
Daniel just talked to me like I was the teenager and he was the older guy. So like,
I think what I like about Damsgaard is because he can play as number 10 and he can play on the right as well. So I think he can do both of the things for us. So that's something that I would like to see. Okay.
Just on a lighter note, Daniel, do you think we've had a brain swap? I've got your brain, at least in the age-wise, and you've got my brain in the. So
Danny is much sharper than you. Come on.
Excuse me. Sharp is relative. Sharper is relative. It's purely and simply the time difference. He's waking up. I'm getting ready for bed. So
Fair enough.
Okay, there's a question from Guguma. I was wondering, have we signed the Japanese player?
No, we have not
we
signed him yet. He's a defender.
Yes, Guguma. Tomiyasu is.
He said no.
Tomiyasu is a defender. The news was that where was he coming from? Tomiyasu, Bologna. Bologna wants 22. Yeah, Bologna wants 22 million.
But
somehow another Levy is 13.9.
No, there was another offer, 15.1, and that was rejected.
No, not even a full 14, 13.9.
Wow.
Daniel
No,
Levy.
15.1 is the latest, but that was rejected.
Latest is 15.1. What the hell is the one for?
118 for him.
Adding on to Soham's original question, one player I would like to see at Spurs is Doku because he plays on the right and
Doku.
Yeah. I think I haven't seen anyone being interested in him yet, except for Liverpool. Liverpool did show interest, but if we could sign him, I believe Son on the left, him on the right, it would be definitely magic.
It will solve our right wing problem.
Yeah. What do you think of Bergwijn? Because
especially with Bale.
Yeah, I think Nuno could get the best out of Bergwijn next season. I think he could become like a Neto.
Well, I think he's got more chance of staying than some of the other players, but it's really early days. At the moment, we can, as has been said by Sanska, we can speculate so much, but it's a wait and see rather than something that you can solidly predict. I think he should be given a chance, maybe more of a chance than Ali.
I agree. Because at least when Bergwijn plays, it seems like he's at least interested in playing. Bergwijn gives us everything. The only issue with him is his lack of end product, which is why, even though Daniel compared him with Pedro Neto, I think he's more of an Adama Traore. Not that fast, not that good at dribbling, but equally bad end product. So, I think he's more of an Adama Traore than he is a Pedro Neto. And Traore does play down the right. So, I think there might be something there for Bergwijn. Because he makes good runs, he can draw defenders out of position, which can then make space for the other players to run into. So
like Guguma says, right? Bergwijn
exactly. I agree with
needs more time on the pitch. But the only problem with Bergwijn is, right, he needs more shooting practice.
To me,
he needs the shooting practice. He should get together with Kane, right, and learn how to shoot properly.
If Kane stays, that is if Kane stays.
If Kane stays, Right.
Okay, once again, I'm going to ask another question which has been asked in the media like 1,000 times by now. If Kane leaves, which player do you want to replace him?
You know what? When we were linked with Conte, I could honestly say that if Kane left, Conte could bring in Lukaku, and that would have been something for next season. But now I'm honestly I don't know who.
I don't think Kane would have left if Conte would have come. I don't think he should have.
Hey,
And
that's
it-
that's
and
right.
if,
Okay.
if Kane, if Kane
The
leaves,
question. Hold on, guys. The question is: Kane leaves, and who should we bring in? Not one
I-
player, or maybe a few players that
One
can
or two
cover
players,
his,
maybe, yeah.
well,
Because
to cover his position.
I
Okay, go ahead, Jimmy.
think that Levy would do the scattergun approach. You know, you said earlier that the big teams they focus on one player and they splash the cash. But I think that Levy, if we don't, if we let him carry on his own way, he'll just scattergun and he'll just try to divvy up and give us a handful of players of varying qualities. I don't think there's a player that is available or willing that can directly replace Kane. So I would hope that we would maybe get 2 or 3 first team players that would be able to go straight into the first team and were not too old. And that would be a positive outlook, you know.
I
think
feel like
Ivan Toney.
if we
Okay,
did sell Kane,
hold on. Let Shane talk first. Go ahead, Shane.
I think Ivan Toney from Brentford would be a good signing.
Yeah.
Not as a direct replacement, but as backup to Kane if he stays, or if he does go, you know, you can have him and somebody else playing that role.
Yeah.
that's a good shout.
That,
Okay,
yeah.
Sanka, go ahead, Sanka.
Although
Sanka, you were
Brentford have
saying?
just come up.
yeah. So
they
what
may
I was
keep
thinking is,
overturning.
if Kane does, yeah, sure, go ahead, Jamie.
Go
No,
ahead, Sanka.
I'm not. It's okay. It's okay.
Go ahead, Shanska.
Yeah. So what I was saying was that if Kane does go, which most likely does seem City, I think like number one, if we're getting the opportunity to get a City player, and like if Jesus is being offered, he's not starting material, mind you, but I think we should take him. Jesus, he's still young, he's still moldable, and also Fiorentina striker Dusan Vlahovic, I think he's a really good prospect. Yeah, Vlahovic. I think he's a good prospect, and we could consider signing him. And he wouldn't be too pricey. He wouldn't be cheap either. He'd be just a mid range, like the way Levy likes it. So you might consider signing him.
Well, I read that Dusan is looking to get an extension at
mid-range
Fiorentina.
you were saying the 15-20 million pounds or the 30-40 million pounds mid-range?
I think he's like a 25 range. I think he's like around 25-30 right now.
25-30, okay.
I mean,
be
like
honest-
25-30.
25-30.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, but Man
Okay.
City, they're not looking they're not looking at Tottenham and saying, let's try and buy Harry Kane and let's give him a center back because that's the position that they need to improve. They're looking to try and improve themselves.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
what Daniel Levy needs to do is he needs to go and make it clear that he's trying to get a center back. So then they could offer a center back. But if we don't make it clear at all, Man City are not going to give us what we need. That's why we need to. They'll just end up giving us another midfielder, which we don't need.
Yeah.
You know
And
what? Since you talk
what do you think, Swayam, about selling Kane and which player we should get in, Swayam?
To put things into context, I think Vlahovic, I don't know the exact amount of goals he scored last season, but Carlos Vinicius, he scored more goals in his league, like Portugal league. He scored more goals, and I don't think that Vlahovic will be adapted to the physicality of the Premier League. I think we should go for a player like Patrick Bamford. Like if we can get him, he's a very good player, in my opinion. So yeah, I think. So you cannot like replace Kane with someone. It will take time. Maybe just putting up Dane Scarlett in the first team, and then we can get a good striker. So yeah, that's the plan. If Kane leaves.
Okay, Daniel.
Yeah, I mean, I find it interesting with the. What do you guys think about Danny Ings?
Good. That's one of the players I was going to go for. That is a great shot.
Danny Ings.
That is a great shot. That's one of the players I was going to go for.
I think he could be a good one, Danny Ings.
Okay.
But
Let's
not on his
say
own.
let's say like this one. We sell Kane, we get about 150, 120. Let's say we get
120,
Tony,
yeah.
Tony,
Yeah,
Ings,
Ivan Tony.
Ivan Tony, Ings, all right, and maybe an attacking midfielder to score goals.
That's like you have, with
A
150
dead ball
mil,
specialist for
you
sure.
have
It
enough.
has to be. We need a
Yeah.
dead ball
And to
specialist.
tell the truth, I wouldn't
Corners
mind
and
Jane
free
Watts
kicks
Prowse.
like this.
Exactly.
Ward
That's
Prowse.
another
Yeah.
player.
Yeah.
Ward-Prowse
Yeah.
would be great.
Was Prowse a very
Exactly.
good player.
Let's say we get Tony, we get Ings and J Watt Prowse to
We need
cover
a
Kane.
set. We need a set piece taker,
Would
like
be a
desperately.
dream.
Last two
yeah.
seasons, we didn't score a set piece, and we had
At
Gareth
all.
Bale in the lineup for
At
Jesus'
all?
sake.
We did not.
No,
Nah.
I don't think so. At all.
I don't think we did get many.
only
What to
one-
do? Kane was taking it all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Kane,
And the only one
I
we
just
had.
remember
Closest.
Kane
Yeah, the
got
only
close
one we
once,
had
and
that-
Dyer against Crystal Palace was close.
Oh yeah.
And Bale too. He also got close.
Yeah, Bale
Yeah.
hit the crossbar once.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
somebody
Since
and
you, yeah,
Vinicius
since
hit
you're
it.
talking
Bale
about,
scored a free kick, didn't he?
No, he hit
Bale
the
scored a
crossbar
free
and it
kick, I
bounced.
think.
and
he hit the
Vinicius-
crossbar. He hit the
He hit
crossbar.
the
close, he
crossbar
came
and then
Oh,
Vinicius
yeah,
scored
yeah.
it. Vinicius hit the
So-
rebound with his head.
Yeah.
Sonny hit a crossbar too.
Yeah.
Son, when he hit the crossbar in one of the games, I think it was against Leeds, actually.
You
I
know,
can't remember.
yeah, but I think Ward Prowse has a phenomenal free kick, and I would
Yeah,
really love
No
to see
doubt,
it.
no doubt.
Yeah, thing is, I would love Ward-Prowse, but since we're on the topic of set piece takers, apparently Tottenham have been linked with Miralem Pjanic. That's a player that Paratici had bought for Juventus as well, and he takes good. And he, I think you know what? While Pjanic on the surface of it would be very underwhelming because we would basically look at him as a Barcelona reject because that is essentially what he is right now. He would probably fill up the role that João Moutinho used to play at Wolves. So like the
We want him on loan.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
We
Well,
want him on loan.
yeah, apparently, we want him on loan. Yeah, that's the thing. So I think he could play the João Moutinho type role, like basically Harry Winks, but Harry Winks if he was actually good. So that's the kind of role that he could play. So yeah, but in terms of like striker, if we replace, exactly, Gokuma is right as well. We need someone to do set pieces. Thing is, if we sell Kane, the one player that I would like is the player that we had been linked to in the past as well. And like if you look at like Kane's like strengths, he's basically a complete striker, right? So we need someone who can hold up the play balls to the wide positions, basically link up with the wide players, hold up play, and have good finishing. And there's one such striker who is in the Premier League and has worked with Nuno in the past, and that is Raul Jimenez. He fits all these bills. He's not as good as Kane is in all these areas, but he's probably the closest to Kane in terms of his like being complete in the Premier League. So I would like him plus Danny Ings would be great. Ivan Toney again promoted this season. I don't think Brentford are going to let go of Toney this season. Maybe next season if they go down, we can take Toney on the cheap. Maybe. But this season I don't think that's happening. I would like Jimenez plus Ings and then another attacking midfielder like Eugene said. Like that would be great.
Yeah.
I think
Jane Watts
Tony-
Prowse should be good.
Yeah, I think Tony would reject Tottenham to stay at Brentford.
And he will never come to Spurs if he rejects Tottenham. Yeah,
I
because
feel
Levy
like-
will have a grudge against him. Okay, guys, one question. Would you take Connor Cody at centre
Yes.
back?
Yes.
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 I mean,
Yes.
he'd do a better job than Eric Dyer, that's for sure. But I mean, we've been linked to so many great defenders. To be honest, it would be like getting Nuno, one being linked to Conte.
You know what? Like throughout last season, I actually backed Eric Dyer a bit. I was like, all right, he's not that bad. He just has that
Yeah.
concentration. But then when I was doing the stats of all these players, Eric Dyer is the only centre back I found who has less than a tackle and an interception per game. He doesn't tackle, he doesn't intercept. What does he exactly do?
So he lets the ball
and
pass
he's too
him.
error
He
prone.
speaks Portuguese. He speaks Portuguese. That's how he gets his.
He does that.
He is too error prone too. He's very error prone.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
He's error prone as well. Like one
Uh-huh.
thing, like the one explanation to having a low tackle and low interception rate is that your positioning is so good that you get to the ball before there's a pass or before you need to make a tackle. But that's not the case with Eric Dyer. We can see him play week in, week out. He's not like Maldini levels of good where he doesn't have to do anything because his positioning is that good. And he takes errors on top of that. So I think Eric Dyer will stay because he can speak Portuguese, like Daniel said. He will stay. I think Eric Dyer wakes up every morning and thanks his lucky stars that his dad chose to work in Portugal of all countries when he was a young boy.
I'm telling
Yeah,
you,
another
Nuno,
thing I think if you remember from All or Nothing, Jose did have a previous bias towards Dyer.
Yeah.
He
Yes,
thought
he did.
he had a particular favoritism to Dyer, and that's why Dyer got
Yep.
so many chances.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we
to be
remember
fair to Dyer, he was playing well at the start of the season. Then he
when
declined
we were
sharply.
top of the league. When we were top of the league, he was
Yep.
phenomenal.
He was
Our back line when we played again, I don't know if you guys remember this game. Man City. Man
Yeah.
City
2-0. The
was
2-0,
the
right?
best. Yes, the 2-0. The
2-0.
best
Yep.
defensive
He was
display.
fantastic.
And Tottenham, the Tottenham official YouTube account made a whole video on all the tackles that our back line did. That's how
Yep.
good that game was defensively.
If you
And then
guys
after
remember,
that, yeah, go on.
yeah, Danny, continue.
I was just gonna say, like, if we can continue that defensive display every single game, I think we would continue being top of the league.
Yeah. Did you guys
So
just
what-
see that how Reguilon played in that match? Like he pocketed Mahrez, like completely. Like Mahrez couldn't even
And
go past
Aurier.
Reguilon in that match. And Aurier
And
too.
Aurier.
Yeah, Aurier too. It was a very good match. Defensively, it was a very good match.
Yeah.
Right.
So what do you think of the back three of Roden, Milenkovic, and Anderson?
That sounds good.
I think it's better than the back two that we have right now.
I mean, see, thing is, I've not really seen enough of Milenkovic. I'll be honest, I've not seen anything of Milenkovic to be able to say what he would look like. I think apparently there are reports that Rodon will play more often next season. So I mean, it can only be good because another thing that I saw was that of all our players, I think Rodon had like the highest number of accurate tackles per match or accurate passes per match, something like that. Rodon was actually pretty good in terms of his stats last season. I would love to see more of Rodon. Hopefully, we'll get two more centre backs and not just this Tomiyasu guy. Hopefully, we at least get Anderson, because another thing that we saw with Anderson was that he does play a lot of long balls per match. So Connor Cody had like 6.6 long balls per match. Toby had like 4 point something. Anderson had like 5.8, and that at a good accuracy rate as well. So I think he would be like a very good for replacement for Toby.
So let's say we get rid of Dyer, Sanchez, Toby, right? And we bring in
that's our
Tomiyasu.
entire backline gone. That's our entire backline.
Then we bring in Tomiyasu, Cody, Anderson, and maybe Skriniar.
What about Koundé? What do you guys think about Koundé? Because
Koundé, we're too far off.
I've seen a starting lineup. I've seen a starting lineup.
Koundé, we're too far off. I don't think he's coming.
He's not coming.
The money they want is like what, 65 million pounds? Come on, I don't think he's going to pay that.
I mean, if we sell Toby Alderweireld, that's gonna bring in some cash, and then if we sell Harry Kane for the 150 mil, that's gonna bring in even more. I know Daniel Levy doesn't know how to do business, but it could happen. It could happen. He'll probably end up trying to give him 10 mil plus a free hot dog from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and a
ante before it's bags and chips
and a free ticket for Skywalk. You guys can that, right?
No, he'll give that to Nuno. He'll give that to Nuno Espirito Santo if he doesn't do well this season.
No.
I mean, unless we sell Kane, we should not even consider someone like Koundé. Unless we sell Kane, we shouldn't consider someone that high, because it would be just a waste of money if he doesn't perform. If he doesn't perform, half our funds are gone and we're done.
Yeah. Thing is, since we're saying something like that, if we do with that, we should get a player only if we sell Kane. Okay, if I give you a choice, like would you rather keep Kane and get some like mid-level centre backs like Anderson and someone like Tomiyasu or someone of that ilk, or would you sell Kane and get Skriniar and Koundé both? What would you do?
Sell Kane, but then have to get a replacement for Kane, like a Danny
exactly.
Ings.
That's very tough. That is very tough.
Okay,
I would rather keep Kane.
In our situation, all that talk is a bit like fantasy football league. I mean, it is. The names you're banding about are in the perfect world, but we're living in the Levy world, which is going to always temper our aspirations.
All right. Okay, hold on. Let me ask Shane. Shane, you okay still? I mean, it's going to be 3 hours. Are you good?
Yeah, mate.
If you're tired, if you want to hop off, there's no problem. Because I still can continue with these guys here.
Just 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, I'll be right. I'll be right for.
The thing is, it's
I'll
very
be
simple.
right for a little while.
Right. Okay. If you want to do, you just let me know. No problem. All right. It's very simple. The scope of money that we're going to spend now, right, for every player that comes in, we're going to look between 15 to 25 million pounds. That's it, right? Levy is not going to spend 30, 40, 50, 60 million on one single
Maybe on
player.
one player. No, maybe one player.
I don't think he'll do that because the way it's going now is very simple. Unless we can clear all our deadwood out, right? There is like 9 players in our squad. Okay, to balance out the funds being going out, right? And let's say we do keep Kane, we have to do the rebuild of the defense and the midfield. Correct? We don't have proper defenders, we don't have set piece takers, okay, and we don't have what I call players that are who are used to possession in football possession. Correct? So in the end of the day, we are not looking at players at that level. The players at the 50 million and above level, all right, why didn't he do it last year with Mourinho? Simple question is that. Skriniar was 45. He could have got a Skriniar if Mourinho wanted him.
I think Skriniar was more than 45.
now.
Yeah,
now he's 51. Just hold on for a while.
More than 45.
Saikat is back. Hi, Saikat.
Yeah, hi guys.
Yeah. How are you doing? You're
I
back
think
again?
45 was the max
Yeah, I'm back again.
Levy was prepared to pay for Skriniar,
Exactly. I
but
think
Inter
Skriniar was
didn't
like
want to
60.
accept that much.
I think Skriniar was like 60 last season. His prices actually
45 was
dropped because
Levy's budget.
Yeah, I think because Skriniar's prices dropped this season, as far as I'm aware, because Inter are forced to sell players right now. So I think that's why his prices dropped.
That's true.
If anything.
The only reason I know the prices of players is because I play career mode on FIFA. And I've tried to I try to get Skriniar so many times, and each time he always rejects me. I don't know if it's Tottenham because I'm paying more than what they're asking for. I don't know if it's
because your dad supports Man City. I want to go to your dad's club, not Tottenham, Man City.
But like whatever it is, we know what kind of owners we have. It's been the trend for all these years. All right. Okay. So, do you think that the trend will break? Let's go to Swayam first.
Okay, I'll answer it later, but I have a quiz for you guys. Right?
Yep.
So, who was our record signing before Tanga Ndombele? Can anyone answer that?
Davinson Sanchez, 42.
Exactly. Yeah. So, what went wrong with him? What went wrong with him all along?
Everything.
Okay.
His GPS played up.
He can't stand.
He can't walk.
He's like playing on ice most of the time.
and he can't defend.
The Tottenham Stadium's got its own brewery, so maybe he discovered that too soon in his contract.
I think what went wrong with Davinson Sanchez is the same thing that has gone wrong with a lot of players at Tottenham. You see young players come to this club, they do very well in their first 1 or 2 seasons, and they either just stagnate or then they'll just regress. The only 2 young players I can think of who actually kicked on and improved themselves are Son and Kane. That's it. That's really it. You think of the others. Ali comes in, has a decent first season, has a blinder of a second season, declines after that. Eric Dyer, solid first season, solid second season, mediocre third season, declines after that. You look at someone like even Winks. Winks was decent in his first season. Winks was great in his second season. He completely bossed a midfield of Toni Kroos and Luka Modric in his second season. He was great that season. Then he declines. Same thing with Davinson Sanchez. First season he comes in, he's all right. Second season, when Alderweireld gets injured, he becomes the backline partner with Jan Vertonghen. He was fantastic that season because Vertonghen did not have pace, and he had loads of pace. He used to cover Vertonghen so well. But then after that, he declines. It's the same thing with so many young players at Tottenham, and I am not sure why this is happening. Is there something wrong with like the way we are training these young players, or is it something wrong with like the mentality of the club? I don't know what's happening, but it's happening far too often where talented young players are coming, they're playing well for a certain amount of time, then they're just regressing. I don't know what's going wrong here. And it's not just Sanchez, it's a lot of players.
Our players are based on confidence. We looked at like a little bit through the season. when Davinson Sanchez had a good play in. He had a few good, decent matches in the season. I think it started off with um I think it started off with Burnley. He played a match in Burnley when we won 4-0. I think that he started playing good there. But then he has one bad match and his confidence goes. Same thing goes with Eric Dyer. Same thing goes for a lot of our players. That's why this club, it's like most of the players are confidence players. If they're not on good form, they're not going to continue playing well. And that's I think they need to be playing well every single game. If you don't play well, use that as a confidence, well, not a confidence booster,
Exactly.
but like something to bring
Hold
up
on,
your
guys.
moral and to play better
Hold
the
on,
next one.
guys. Hold
Yeah,
on,
hold
guys.
on.
We've got a super
wait.
chat.
Oh no. Okay, Wayne Bonnet asked, "What do you think about Damiro?"
I have no idea who
Demiral
that
from
is.
the
I'm gonna have to go on
Demiral
Brazil
from
Scout.
Juve.
Yeah, thing is, Mehdi Demiral, I do not really follow Serie A on a week-to-week basis. I just see some highlights here and there, and I have not seen enough of him. However, I did see a bit of Demiral in the Euros, and I did not
He's
like what
Turkish,
I saw.
right?
I gotta go on
He's
Brazil
Turkish,
Scout.
yeah. I
Yeah,
did see him
Damiro
in
is
the
Turkish.
Euro, and I did not like what I saw.
Yeah. Sorry, Danny, what did you say?
I said I have to go and look him up on Brazil Scout.
Ah, yeah. All right, but Damiro is Turkish. I don't think he performed too well in this Euros, right?
I didn't even see him.
So
Turkey
as
didn't play well this Euro.
yeah.
as far as I remember, I saw a tweet on Daily Hotspur that we were linked with Demiral, and then he scored an own goal. So like it's a bit Spursy.
Ah,
It's always
yeah,
been
he's the
Spursy.
one who
So
scored the own goal. Yes, right. But like I said, we get linked to a lot of players, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like Jamie says, that more or less it's like fantasy football, correct? And we will have to honestly wait and see what we get, all right?
Yes, yeah, thing is, since we're talking about like players that we link to, I don't know if Daniel will recognize this player, but I think a lot of the older fans will. Do you guys remember Leandro Damião? He was like our version of Jadon Sancho. We used to get linked to him every season for like 3 or 4 seasons in a row, and then that never materialized. He was like, I think that was like late Harry Redknapp era till early Poch era. I think there were like 4 or 5 seasons in a row where we just got linked to this guy Leandro Damião, and it just never happened. And that was so funny. Like to see that on every transfer window, that one rumor, he was like our version of Jadon Sancho.
But and then
it
We've
never
had a lot of
happened.
versions. We got
Never
Skriniar
happened.
was the same way. Skriniar was the exact same way.
I think Wayne Bonner is trying to say
We've been linked
Damiro
to
is
him for a very
19.
long time.
Okay.
Damiro is 19, and the cost is about 40 million euros.
No,
40
no.
million.
Demiral is
Levy's not paying that.
23 years old.
Levy is
Demiral
not
is
paying
23
that.
years old, and people have, like at Juventus and at Syria, they have very much high expectation upon him. And he suffered some ACL, I think, so he was out probably most of his growth period of time, maybe 21 when he was 21 and 22 years. But yeah, he's around 22 and 23. It's not 19. But
I'd
yeah,
rather
he was
have
a good prospect.
Tomiyasu at 20 million because, like, do we have the time right now to be spending this much on a player and hoping he realizes his potential? I
That's
don't think
why.
we have the capacity to do that. Right now, we have, if we
It's just
spending someone on Tomiyasu is
one.
smarter.
It's just the 1 point money, right, that we got, and 1 point direct replacement is Tomiyasu. Like he can play right back and RCB and in the right wing back as well. And I think it's a good investment. Like I said, 20 million. So it will not be a directly a straight 20 million quid. It will be on installments, add-on and stuff. And I think I just saw a report 10 to 20 minutes back. So they are telling that the price will be around 15 million because the player is highly interested in coming to Tottenham, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
so
I've
they
read
can,
reports like that as well.
Guys, hold on. Must always remember, right? Tomiyasu is Japanese. Okay, if he does come, he comes with other benefits that comes along with him.
Exactly.
Don't forget,
exactly.
right? So in the end of the day, Tomiyasu for Levy, even if they wanted 20 million pounds, they should just give it to him, right? And I'm sure within a season that 20 million pounds will be made back from jersey sales in Japan. That's all, right? But the problem with Levy is that he's always, I mean, to a certain extent, it's good for the club if you squeeze every inch out to save money. but it's bad for the reputation of the club. Is that in the end, nobody wants to do business with you.
Right.
Right. And always Levy takes advantage of people's situation. Right.
Right.
That's why he's getting a lot of bad karma now. That's why now the people out there, right, knows that he's desperate because the fans, us, right, are on his back. Everything comes out from his mouth, we're on his back. So he is trying to appease us. Okay, that's why we got in Paratici, all right? And somehow or another to show that the fans that he is listening to Paratici, right? He has agreed to get Nuno, correct? So on that, by getting Paratici and Nuno in, he has put up a wall to deflect all the rest of the other issues that's going to go around football towards him. He's done that, okay? But deep down inside, we all know, right, who pays the money. Paratici can go out there and negotiate to the end of the world, right, to come. And if Levy doesn't say yes to the money, he'll still get nothing. That's it. You see? So now, what Paratici and Nuno has to do is that they have to be smart. So they have to outmaneuver their own boss to get the players they want. So let's see whether if they're smart enough to do that, right? Maybe somehow or another, they will get the player in at a certain level. Then they will say, oh, it's at this price. No, it's at that price. But actually, in the end, it's at the lower price. So when you reach that lower price, Levy say, okay, let's get him. That's it.
You know what? Since we're talking about Tomiyasu, another point that was made by Shane a few minutes back was the fact that we could look at someone like Daichi Kamada. Guys, imagine if we signed both Kamada and Tomiyasu. Imagine our fan base in Japan.
Yeah, true.
Imagine that. That would be massive.
True.
But apparently Kamada isn't too expensive. He's like 25 mil, something like that. So he's in like the gettable range as well. So I mean, these are signings that we should be going for, in my opinion. Not only do they make sense from a footballing point of view, they also make a lot of sense from a business point of view. And apparently, Daniel Levy prides himself as a businessman. So there you go. There you have your business strategy.
I think we were also linked with the South Korean centre back Kim Min-jae, but we didn't get him. Right?
Yeah. I think his club blocked that move or something like that. I think that was
from a Chinese club.
Yeah, the Chinese club blocked his move or something like that. Yeah.
And of course, the Olympics are coming up, so we will still get another round of viewing the Asian and whatever under 23 talents that we can get our hands on. Correct? So after the Euros, it goes into the Olympics, and let's see what happens after that. And I'm sure there are lots of talents out there. Right? That's why I say can't wait to see him play in the Olympics. Oh, Guguma, you're talking about Kim Min-jae.
The monster.
Yeah,
Who do you think will win the Olympics?
Speaking of Kim Min-jae, wasn't Kim the one who's recently been linked with Juventus? Isn't he going to move to Juventus or something?
Kane?
Like that? No, Kim Min-jae.
Oh, I heard Kane.
No.
I don't know.
I'm not too sure about that.
I think he was linked to a move in Europe, but I don't know. I don't think it was it was particularly Juventus or not, but he was definitely linked to a certain club in Europe.
Yeah, it was to Lazio.
Lazio. Yeah.
Because Kim Min-jae isn't linked to Juventus. Guguma say he isn't linked to Juventus.
Same question.
Right.
Same question.
Yeah. So it's linked to the Italian league then.
So apparently, if this guy is good enough for Lazio and Juventus, why are we not getting it? Same question.
We will never get the players that we want. But the problem now is that, right, the fans don't choose the players, okay? It's the manager and the director of football will choose the players, correct? And
which is a fancy way of saying that Levy chooses the footballers.
Yes, indirectly.
Yeah.
So us fans got to get the name out there. Daichi Kamada. We need him. He's
Kamada.
Yeah. He's a baller. He's one of the best cams I've seen in a long time.
Wow.
Plays for Eintracht Frankfurt.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
it's
Eintracht Frankfurt.
the
Yeah.
skills,
But
the tackles, the goals,
but
the
haven't you
set
noticed,
pieces.
Shane? Haven't you noticed, right? With Paratici there, right? Most of our players, the focus has all been onto the Italian league. That's one
He's
point.
he's got scouts everywhere.
Ah,
Mm.
He when he was at Juventus, he bought Ronaldo to
from Real
Juve,
Madrid.
didn't he?
I
From
think that
Real
was the Jorge
Madrid.
Mendes. I think that was the Jorge Mendes link.
Mm. And they're all linked to Jorge Mendes.
But I
Well, men,
think it's just that like the Patici and the Syria links, these are not. This is like a myth, because if you see Patici's buys, right, Ramsey, Rabiot, then Cancelo, Danilo, they are none of them are Syria basically. Yeah, like if
Mm.
someone performs better in Syria, like it is somewhat like Bundesliga, right? If you perform good, you are going to Bayern Munich the next season. But it is
Yeah.
somewhat it is like that. But Padici has very good connections worldwide. It's not just only with like with the Syria players, or
Oh,
that's
okay.
what like how the Bayern performs their transfers. So I don't think like it's just a myth that yeah. But in terms of Syria League, because he has been throughout his career in Syria, so he will be knowing the technical know-how of how Syria players are performing, and he will know the details, right? But the
Mm.
problem is Syria is a completely different thing and EPL is completely different thing. If he goes there, that if anyone performs good in Syria, same player can't perform in EPL. They have to go to the worldwide and get the technical abilities of the players that suits him.
Mm-hmm. True, true. That's very true. But like I said, in the end, whatever happens, the buck stops at Levy. Whether he will come up with the money to buy the players that's been recommended by the director of football and the players that the manager wants, correct? So what we have to do now is actually just sit back and watch what's going to happen from now until the beginning of the season, until the transfer window closes. A lot of people now are saying that okay, we've got our manager, right? What are we going to do with the deadwood, and what are we going to replace them with if we do replace any of them, right? Don't forget the choice of whether keeping them or letting them go at the moment is still in the manager's hands. But the actual letting them go, right? We do not know what's going to happen. Like
Yeah,
we said,
like whatever we are telling as deadwoods, are they actually deadwood in the eyes of Nuno? We don't
yeah,
know yet.
yeah.
So yeah,
The,
that's you
you
have to.
see, I'm sure that Nuno is not what I call he doesn't. I'm sure he listens to social media too. I'm sure that he's seen how the Tottenham players play. I'm sure that he knows that why does the ball keep passing Dyer all the time, from the left, from the right, from the front, right? And somehow or another, this last season that we've been playing, right, I don't understand why when we get attacked, right, we fall back all the way to the penalty area. Why doesn't someone just step up and block the guy? Haven't you all noticed that? Right? Is it a mental problem, or is it they've been coached that way? Right?
I think it's
You
a
know, my
coaching thing.
my biggest fear is like, will Nuno tell that okay that these guys are not performing well? I am here now. I am going to change them and make them better. That's what my biggest fear is. Because if they are not good enough, they hasn't been for past 2 years. Get him out of here just now. Don't challenge yourself and tell them that I can get the best out of this person. That is my
Exactly.
biggest fear.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Paratici, what he is telling in his interviews is basically the adaptiveness. He is generally focusing on that. That Nuno, each and every time, wherever he goes, he performs with the team that he has.
That's
That
true.
exactly
Right.
what Fonseca was there for. Fonseca was also the same person. So that's my biggest fear, that will there be any transfer at all? That's my biggest fear. Or
That's a
they
good
will be
point.
just like the whatever we have, and how much speculation we can create about that these are the deadwoods and stuff and this that. But are there going to be any transfer or not? That's my biggest fear. That Nuno challenges himself and tells that yeah, I am gonna get the best out of this. So I'm
That's
not
true.
sure.
Yeah. Okay, guys. We've been here for over 3 hours. Have you all got any other things you all would like to talk about for today? Anybody?
Not really. I was gonna leave if anything.
Okay. I think we should be calling it a night today.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming in. I will go to Swayam first. Swayam, how do we find you? Who are you linked to? Are you any social media links? Anything? Oh, what happened to Swayam? He's gone. All right. Then we shall go to Shanska.
Yeah, you already have my number, and you can find me on Instagram or at sanskar_das. And yeah, I'm always ready. I had a really great time today, and whenever there's space, be sure to contact me. I'm more than ready to be part of the conversation.
Okay, that's good.
Just
That's
make
good,
sure
Shanska.
you get the word out in your Spurs community.
And you're from
Sure, definitely.
yeah. Are you from which Spurs group?
Kolkata Spurs Group.
You're from the Kolkata Spurs. All right, same as Swayam.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And
So get the
Swayam's
link,
gone.
share the link, and
Yeah,
tell
right.
them to
Definitely.
get their YouTube on.
Yeah, and subscribe and like the video.
Etc. Etc. Etc.
Yeah, and Sanska, we've can you hear me, Sanska?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, you've done your outro, right? And you requested for a screenshot for the video. Once it's up and the link is up, and I'll do a screenshot with your face on it, and I'll send it to you later. All right, Sanska?
I didn't. Did I request for a screenshot? I don't think I requested. I
Saika.
think you're.
No, who
I think it was either
requested for
Swaika.
Yeah, it's me. Yeah.
What?
I will just share in my community and
Oh,
my
Saika,
group,
Saika,
right?
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, Saika, sorry, not Sanska. All right, Saika, your group is which Spurs?
I am belonging to two groups. One is Bangalore Spurs and one is Kolkata Spurs. So yeah, because of my location, it gets changed sometimes. So I joined the corresponding group which is near to me. So yeah, that's
Okay.
how. But yeah.
All right.
So
And,
I will
okay,
just tag you in that so that you can get my Instagram account as well, so we can.
Okay, I don't
get it
have
out there.
we don't have Instagram yet on this channel. I do have
Okay,
Twitter.
okay.
Do you have Twitter?
I am there in Twitter. Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
You just in the chat, you just give your link. I will
Yeah.
just follow you and we can chat up there. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. My Twitter link will be actually the same, Eugene at Spursvision TV, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, okay, sure.
All right.
Then I will.
All right.
I will do that. Yeah.
Okay. And then for Shane, thank you for coming. How do we find you? Are you starting your own channel, or will you be just hopping around, or would you like to join us?
I'll just be popping around. I'll join you whenever you need me. You can find me at Shandy_Spurs on Twitter. But yeah, I don't do very many live chats. But
thank you for coming.
I'm looking to do a few more.
Yes. I will include you the next time that we have anything. Yeah.
With the transfer of the new season, we'll need some wise heads to steer the ship.
I'll bring that Aussie knowledge.
Okay. And for Daniel, Kid, how do we find you?
Oh, you're ending the show. I just came back from getting something from downstairs.
Was it?
No, I'm saying we're doing
was it cereal?
the outros.
Oh, okay.
Again. We're just doing the outros. Give your plug in.
You guys can all find me at the Yid Kid on YouTube. Recently, I just reached 200 subscribers. Big milestone for myself. But let's get Spursuation to 200 as well. Before we win a trophy, 200.
Can't do it.
And Soham?
Yeah, you can find me on the Bangalore Spurs group and the Kolkata Spurs group. And on Instagram, you can find me on Soham, which is S_O.HAM, because mine's a very common name and pretty much every other person in Bengal has that name. So yeah, I had to do a lot of work on it to make it stand out. But anyway, yeah, you can find me there on Instagram. You can find me on WhatsApp. I'm not on Twitter for the sake of my own mental health. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
Also, Jamie, whenever your birthday is, I'm gonna send you a box of cereal over to Malaysia because.
Okay, I will say chocolate Lucky Charms.
Chocolate Lucky
or,
Charms.
Or
And
the
the cinnamon
chocolate cinnamon
toast.
toast. Yes. But
Jamie?
unfortunately, it's not until April next year, so you've got time to send it.
This-
Yeah.
4th of the.
And
Oh, like
Jamie?
I'm just gonna say 4th of the 4th, 4th of April, not the 1st, like most people think. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you'll find me here every Sunday at 8 o'clock, Philippine and Beijing time. That's about 6 p.m. India, 1 p.m. UK, 10 p.m. Australia, and 8 a.m. in the land of the free and the home of the cereal, Florida. Otherwise, you can find me on Twitter, on Facebook. My whole name, Jamie Stephen Pretty. I run the unofficial Manila, Philippines Tottenham Hotspur supporters club, and you can get that on Facebook. And I'm getting so old, I've forgotten my Twitter link, but I am on Twitter. If you put my whole name in, you'll find me somehow.
Yeah.
So
And of
I'm
course,
having
you guys know.
I'm having senior moments.
And you guys know how to find me, right? I'm on Sports Vision TV, and most of the time, I'm around with most of the rest of the European side of the shows, like Will's THC Rants. Sometimes I'll be on Bobspur TV, Tottenham Away, and we get around.
Sometimes
And
you're
we'll
on
be
my channel.
On Yitki's channel, and I'm trying to build up this channel for the Asian fans on the Asian side. Soham, later on the back room, we just hold back for a while and have a short talk with you. All right. And for the rest of the guys, I would like to say thank you for being here tonight, especially for Guguma and Wayne Bonner. Thank you for the support. Right. And
Thanks,
hope to
guys.
see you guys. Hope to see you guys the next time.
And for Shane being here.
Yes.
Till what's it now? It's a
Quarter past one.
Quarter past one in the
Past
morning.
Quarter past one. Thank you, Shane, so much.
No problem.
I'll catch up with you.
Thanks,
Unless
guys.
you are, if you are free, you can just hang on around in the back room for a while. If not, I'll catch up with you on Twitter, DM.
I'll hang around for another 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for coming on.
And any guys doing any chats or anything like that, please try to ping me in. I will be there. No
Sure.
issues.
Sure.
We can all support each other and grow. Right?
I've got all of your WhatsApp numbers.
Info Central.
Yeah.
I will get it out to you guys. All right.
I
Okay,
already
guys.
followed you on Twitter
and
just now, so I luckily found you, I guess, Eugene.
Okay. And
Okay.
Daniel,
Okay. Thank you,
Daniel, regards your podcast this week and whatnot, just give me heads up, and as long as I'm
Monday.
around, I will.
Yeah.
I will be.
I'm free. I'm free tomorrow morning, Daniel. If you're doing your Monday thing.
Tomorrow morning, though, is probably.
Me morning.
I know, but for you.
Me Tuesday morning.
Oh, you're Tuesday morning.
Yeah,
you're Tuesday morning. You're Monday night.
Tuesday. Remember, we're 12 to 13 hours ahead of you.
Okay, guys. Thank you for staying on. Those who will be staying in the back room, I'll catch up with you all later.
Okay, and
come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on,
TV out.
Okay. See you guys.